Such a weather is there outside. Yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yourself? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, yeah, over to you, sir. SPIT? Eh, Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We received your mail, and there was a lot of things. No worries, sir. So that's what there is a lot of overhaul in the database needs to be done. First thing I wanted to highlight that. So we have mismatching numbers. Who will be delivering a talk on the IP and the institutional challenges. Yes, ma'am. Could you please introduce us at the back? Hello, ma'am. Yeah. You are from which institution? Engineering Thane. Yeah. What's your good name, ma'am? Okay. Subhoji, we are live? Okay. So I could request all of you, if you could scan this and you can share it with your colleagues who are not here on WhatsApp, or you can put a status on LinkedIn about this live event. It would be really helpful for the people who are not able to travel, and it will help us to have a sync as to what we are doing. Right. So I'll briefly take you through the agenda of the day. So I want to give a brief about what is the MIC initiatives. Most of it will come from your end. Already you have a lot of initiatives at your institutions going on. Uh, Thank you, Udayji, for joining us. Udayji from the Atal Incubation Center, Rambau Malgi, uh, is here. Then we have the guest session by Professor Sajid. We have a pitching event. There are a couple of startups we have invited. There's one from VJTI, and there's one other from I think Thakur College. So we had invited in the Google form to have as many startups as possible. But to be frank, I'll give a database as to we had roughly 4 or 5 names. We tried to contact a couple of them, and only 2 of them agreed upon to join us. Some of them are traveling for internship. Because of that, they could not come. Followed by the startup pitch, we have the panel discussion, and that's where we, after that, we end this session. So on the screen, you can see a lot of initiatives which you are already benefiting from AICT. Yeah, yes or no? Right. So can you quickly name a few, 1 or 2 initiatives which you have personally as the IIC convener or the council member been benefited from? If you could raise your hand and speak about it for a few minutes. Right? We can see Smart India Hackathon, which is one of the flagship programs which are conducted by AICT. Then we have the AICT Idea Lab. We have Kapila. Have you heard about Kapila? Yes. So yeah, could someone explain, brief us about it? Thank you for joining, sir. May I have quick introduction, your name and the institute? Thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you, sir. We'll be joining Vinit, sir, for the panel discussion as well to understand more into the IP thing and the tech transfer part of it. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So can I request Gorakji, can you pass on the mic to the audience? we are having a Q&A. You can mic त्यांना फक्त द्यायचं. So anyone would like to brief about Kapila quickly? 1 or 2 minutes. Have you heard about these initiatives? Yes. So I'll just turn it on. Yeah, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Professor Maria Acharya. I am from a Deccan Education Society, that is Jayashree Sharshan Kotari Business School, which is located in Dadar. So our main head office is in Pune, Ferguson College.
Yes.
So I'm a TPU of my institute, and I also handle this particular committee of IIC as a vice president. Sir, in the last year for Smart India Hackathon, I was an evaluator for cybersecurity. So I have evaluated 105 ideas. So from that, we have shortlisted 4 to 5 students who have been rated as the best idea generators. So that is what I want to share. And it was a very enriching experience for me because I could see the different innovative ideas which are coming from the students, that is young branch, from engineering, from management institute, even from the general science. So it was a pleasure for handling this, and as it is doing wonderful job and helping us in many multiple ways where we can bring more innovative ideas into a management plus engineering platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other activity or the program powered by AICT or Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell you have been benefited by? Anyone can talk about Kapila? I'm sure. Vinit sir, can you please brief us about the Kapila? Because Vinit sir's institution, when he got the Google form, I think 59 patents have been filed. So that was the largest by any institution. So I think he's a person you can catch hold of to understand the process. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The AICT has launched the Kapila, I think 3-4 years back, and it is to encourage the registration of the patent. And in the patent registration, they give the filing charge. Patent is the commercial venture, so Government of India is charging. Previously, the charge for the educational institute was the same as the industry. But 3 years back, it is charges are reduced to almost 10%, means reduced to 90%, and it is bring to the individual. So the Kapila is the scheme where you can ask for the fund to file your patent, and after filing your patent, you can put up your the 5,400 as a registration filing charge. So they give the half of that for the registration charge. So here the registration on the Kapila online portal, you need to have a registration. IP expert, that is the person who knows the about the patent filing and all this. So he should be there on your panel, and you can file, you can request for getting the fund. That is actually the reimbursement process. You have to file your patent, submit the proof, and then you will get the reimbursement. So this is about Kapila and the intention. And last the along with the Kapila, the Government of India, the patent office has more than 1 lakh patent.
Yes, sir.
I hope you may give the more
Yeah,
details.
it's more than 1 lakh, and this year we are supporting 15,000 patents for filing. So that amount will be reimbursed. So 2024, 2025, 15,000 patent, whatever the cost will be bared by the faculties or the institutions, will be reimbursed. So thank you, Vinit ji. Can we have an applause for the scheme? Yeah, because IP is something which is crucial for the entrepreneurship. And when we talk about campus-based startups, if there is a collaboration between the faculty and the students, so this is one way to look at it. And we have many such institutions. I think ma'am will be also talking about, I think 20 patents have been filed by Datta Mege College of Engineering. So why I'm sharing this instead of me talking about all this, from the horse's mouth, is that you have such a brilliant cases already existing. So we want to bring it forward. Can anyone talk about the AICT Idea Lab? Is any institute having it? SPIT is there. Anyone from SPIT? So we have SPIT, which has the AICT Idea Lab. I'll brief this. AICT Idea Lab is supporting 55 lakhs for establishment in the campus. A lab like the Atal Tinkering Lab, where the students can come and pivot their ideas, right? And this year, the AICT has decided to fund 150 Idea Labs. So you can compete for this. The role of Innovation Center is to identify these, institutions who are doing well in patent filing, who are doing well in creating the entrepreneurial and innovative culture. And based on those, the activities which you will do for the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell and the Innovation Center will be helping you one step further to getting that on board in your campuses. So AICT Idea Lab is one such wonderful scheme where you can establish your fabrication and all other facilities in the institution. So all these things I'm going to share a file of what these activities are, what are these. We are just having a brief discussion on that. NIRF, you are already aware of Yukti. How many of you are aware of Yukti? Anyone? Yes. Can we pass on the mic to ma'am? Ma'am, kindly introduce yourself and then we can hear from you.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry for joining late. There's a lot of rain and there's zero visibility.
Yeah, so we also started a bit late.
Okay, all right. So my name is Dr. Radhika Kotecha. I come from KJ Somaya Institute of Technology, Mumbai. And we have been complying with all IIC guidelines for the last 5 years very successfully. And as far as Yukti is concerned, so it is a portal where we can upload, or our students can submit their ideas, innovations, as well as the startups or business proposals they have. And the innovation ambassadors in our institute do verify those ideas, and those that have good component in it are
Yeah,
further
maybe we
extended.
can look at them also and speak.
Oh, hello. So as far as Yukti is concerned, so it is a portal where our students as well as alumni can upload or submit their ideas, innovations, as well as the business plans or startup that they carry, along with all the details and whatever technical component, IP component, whatever is present in their innovations, along with what funding has been received, if any. And those ideas, innovation startups are further scouted by innovation ambassadors in the institutes or experts, and which are further sent to nominated for innovation competitions by Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. And last year, 10 of our innovations had been in the regional round, one of which made to the finals.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Thank
it.
you so much, ma'am. Can we have an applause for Yukti? Yukti is a repository of what we are doing, right? We are creating value. We are not only creating job creators. We are creating job creators, obviously. But with that, we are creating the IPs, right? That is what will make us look good in the national or international innovation index. Obviously, when you look at state-wise, Maharashtra ranks second in IP filing across the country. First is, I think, Tamil Nadu, and then there is Haryana and other states. So we are doing well in IP filing, but I will also show the other side of the story in some time. Someone mentioned about the NISP. Can the gentleman who talked about it while we were meeting outside? Sir, could you brief about the NISP? Anyone? Right? So NISP is basically the startup policy. So we are also framing these startup policies to make it effective for people to, come up with ideas and create that kind of a culture. Then we have SIATP. That is the, design thinking and training programs. So apart from engineering, whatever we have, we are gaining as an institution and where we are creating our IPs. We also need to know about the finances, the HR part of it, what is design thinking and business management. So through SIATP, we are conducting sessions and it's available on the portal. So you just have to log in, create your account and you can, attend those sessions. And then we have IDE boot camps. We had a couple of them last year. I think the recent one was in April, which we did in Mumbai and Pune region. So we are coming up with IDE boot camps in near future in August before we start with the Smart India Hackathon. So this time we are going to look at new places. In a nutshell, if you see this, we have a large plethora of, activity around innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, are students also aware of these? That is the question. So where I come from a background of entrepreneurship education myself, and I have been interacting with e-cells for almost 7, 8 odd years. Now, what I've seen is the entrepreneurship cells are very active. The reason, what is the reason? Anyone can tell me? You have seen entrepreneurship cells in your ecosystem, in your institution. Can you tell me one reason why they are so active? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I will let the mic come to you quickly.
There are very young minds which are basically handling the e-sale activities. So they have all the ideas coming up, and the blood rushes through them to become an entrepreneur and create a startup. So that's the reason basically that they fetch up many young entrepreneurs to come up and give a talk to other students who are juniors to them. And through the cultural fests and the tech fests, they start up their idea to pitch into the in my college, there are shark tanks also which come up with the ideas, and the faculties listen to those and give appreciation. So this is what the driving force is for the e-sale, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
You
you.
rightly highlighted that aspect of it. So entrepreneurship cells are successful. What my observation says in one word, it's student driven. Students are, leading all those activities, from inviting the faculty or the, investor, to the mentor, to AIC coordinators or incubator CEOs to campuses, and having these activities. So what we want going forward from you, and I will say it what I've got in the induction and the training is, you need to work in sync with the entrepreneurship cell. Get these students on board IIC. Then I think it will be a win-win situation, because you have similar resources coming and you need to partner with these e-cells going forward, because it's not different. Entrepreneurship is through IP creation. When we talk about innovation, then there is entrepreneurship. It's innovation in business model. It's innovation in any idea. It's innovation in any product. So entrepreneurship cell and innovation cells going forward need to have collaborative efforts to do activities, and it will, give you less burden in executing those when students are the face of those activities. So their approach, as ma'am highlighted rightly, the blood rushes through them to do something. And we all are consumed with various responsibilities altogether. So it is better to take their support in that. Right. So when I was given this task recently to, join as an innovation manager, I had made a deck which I would like to share with you about the Maharashtra and Goa region specifically, and what we are trying to do here. Okay, so Western Region Innovation Center will take care of Maharashtra, Goa, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Daman-Diu region. Any institution doing all these activities, we will be in sync with you. Whatever support you require from me, my team at Innovation Center, we are housed in IIM Mumbai. We will be there for you. Okay, so what we have done. Before that, I'll just quickly take you through the journey of innovation creation. So becoming an entrepreneur does not happen in one day. Okay, so previously, couple of years back, we heard this thought, catch them young, catch them young. So Innovation Cell came up with School Innovation Council. Now we are targeting schools also. We are creating innovation councils in them. So the journey starts at the school level, then the transition to HEI. We have ideation bootcamp for that. Then in higher education, we have various initiatives, the IIC, the Smart India Hackathon, the Idea Lab, the NIRF, the NIPS, SIATP, Yukti and Kapila scheme. All of this is coming together to create that, okay? And to make a journey from a student to an entrepreneur. Now, if you ask me in 3 words, what is the role of Innovation Center quickly? First is Hand-holding the ISCs in creating student and faculty-led IP creation. So IP could be purely from faculty. It could be a student who is doing it and you're collaborating with them to execute that. Second, supporting with help of investor network and industry technology for technology transfer and licensing. So a lot of people are facing challenges in that. So that's why what we did was we have, kind of created an investor network. We also are creating an, database of industry associations where whatever IPs are being created finally get into technology transfer and licensing. So we are going to create a matchmaking ecosystem for them. So like Vinit sir has 59 patents. So we will create events for investor summit, investor network, where he can go with those ideas and pitch for the technology transfer and licensing. And what goes into that, the IP policy of it and all. So gentlemen like Sajid sir from NLU and IP attorneys, we are creating a database for that as well. So that will be given to you. We will give that information to you. You have to reach out to them and take it forward, right? And last but not the least, supporting startups to get incubated. We have created a database for the district-wise Maharashtra, the IC convenors, the incubation centers in the region. We are also going to add the IP attorneys in that region, right? And those information will be circulated to you. So you can anytime reach out to them. Now, when we look at the Niti Aayog's Innovation Index, Maharashtra ranks 7 in human capital. So there are 7, 8 pointers at which they have been ranked. So if you look at the knowledge workers, we are ranking 1. In business environment, we are ranking 4. In knowledge output, we are ranking 1. When you look at knowledge diffusion, we are 3. Likewise, for the states of Goa, 3, 3, 1, 2, 8, 6, 7. This deck will be shared with you, so need not worry. Daman-Diu and Dadra Nagar Haveli, the UTs are also on us, on our panel. So they are also doing well, but in the academia point of view, there are not many institutions in this region. So the main objectives in the coming, few months for the Innovation Center, along with the IICs, is to expand from the existing council to 4,000. Scout for TRL 4 ideas. When you got the Google form, I had shared a video link of the TRL from J Anusandhan channel of YouTube. How many of you did you watch? Anyone got time? Yes, sir. Could you briefly explain us about it? Can we pass on the camera, mic to sir, Gorakji? It is really important for us to understand what kind of ideas can be finally commercialized. So that's why there is a wonderful video which we had shared. Yes.
Sir, actually, I've gone through the video, but some key takeaways for me that we already have an incubation center. As a management institute, we are working on it.
Your institution and name, sir?
MIT Institute of Management.
Okay.
So, sir, when it comes to innovative ideas, how they planted these ideas and how they are nurturing these ideas, which was brilliant. That
Right.
was my takeaway from it.
Thank you. Thank you. So TRL 1 to 9 is what, there is a mapping of ideas. So someone has just an idea, it's TRL 1, it's in the air. Then it goes from TRL 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise, right? In that video, if you go back, I would request you to see that because we are going to scout heavily TRL 4 ideas. I'm going to come back. This is not one-time thing. So I'm going to come back to all institutions and keep on asking every 15 days, 1 month. Have you scouted TRL 4 ideas? Where is that idea? If someone has pitched an idea from student council or what is happening with that? Okay. Now, third thing we are going to do is the collaboration part of it. We are going to collaborate with IPFCs, intellectual property facilitators, and the technology transfer. We are going to organize pitching events in campuses. I'm already in touch with Vinit sir from Thakur College, and we are planning something in the month of July for the Western region. Likewise, we'll have for Central, we'll have one for Navi Mumbai and other districts across the state in Goa as well.
Hello.
Yeah. About the hackathon part of it, so we want to encourage, so last year 50,000 students participated in the hackathon. This year we want to take it to at least 80,000 to 1 lakh. Because the number of IICs have also increased from last year 7,000 pan-India to 13,500 roughly. Kapila awareness program. So you can file patent. Many people face challenges into identify how to file a patent. So we are going to solve that problem. We are going to bring IP attorneys to you. But then filing those patents, right? Reaching out to us with how many patents you have filed. That is what we are looking at. And this will be obviously for TRL 4 ideas if it's a technology based startup. Obviously creating the dynamic ecosystem. That is the major role. I will not get into this because we are getting late for Sajid sir's session and he has also an important session tomorrow. But I will just quickly drive you through what we have mapped so far. So if you see the pink districts, okay, these are the maximum IACs which we have across the state of Maharashtra. And then we have the yellows, then the dark red, maroon, and then green. And so you can see this reflecting in this also. That is the medium enterprises. You have wherever there is IACs or the establishment of the entrepreneurial or the educational ecosystem, there are medium enterprises. There is also existing micro and small enterprises. So we are mapping the medium and small enterprises district wise. And this data will be also shared in a couple of days with you. Then in Goa, we have a cluster. So mainly it's about tourism, mining, ITS and pharmaceuticals. So we have tried to map which district or which part of the state is focusing on what kind of IPs and what kind of businesses, right? Yeah, so this is about just a gist about it. But when you dive into it, we have aerospace, we have mapped the companies whom you can reach out to pitch your ideas if it's related to those businesses. We have automobile companies and we have mapped which districts it's falling under, right? So likewise, when you have creating an IP in chemical technology, for example, so where you can take it, that is really important for us to know. Likewise for electronics, for food processing, for gems and jewelry, ITS, right? Other thing which we wanted to highlight is the sector-wise key skill gap. So the Innovation Council and the institution, if we really want to create a culture of innovation, we need to highlight and address these issues related to it. Some ideas, some platforms, some startups can come also as a solution for these key issues. So if you talk about auto and auto components, banking and financial services, each industry is facing some kind of crunch in manpower, training, tools, right? So we have tried to map them also. So whichever area you are focusing on, whichever area you are creating an IP, it will be really great if you can identify those and share this information with the student bodies in the institution and how you can bridge that gap. So suppose we are in, Kolhapur. So Kolhapur has a specific identity. Specific businesses exist over there. Specific IP can be created over there. You cannot expect, a person from Kolhapur to, create something which is beyond the resources available over there. If they really want to create an MVP, if they really want to file a patent, right? So what is the sector? What are the challenges faced by them? We need to understand that and get into the skin of it. So my name is Umesh Rathod. I am here. Okay, I'll be interacting with you one-on-one. And I have been mailing you and I am going to come back to you again. We are going to have a lot of events and activities planned in your institutions. Mainly the pitching rounds and investor and incubation network to bring to institutions for the startups get incubated or funded, right? So recently we have started the Kapila, fellowship again. So whichever patents are there already existing, you have already filed and you want the reimbursement thing. So kindly go on that portal, put it across. You will also have to put it on Yukti platform So we have that information in the repository. So those links in an Excel sheet, all these schemes, their details in a PDF format will be shared with you in the coming week. I would really appreciate if you can take a start from your end and push us that when we can organize these investor meetups, when we can organize this pitching rounds in the institution, and how we can map those ideas and bring them together, right? So thank you so much. I'm going to hand over the mic to Professor Sajid Sheikh. He's an assistant professor of law at the Maharashtra National Law University. And we started interaction a couple of weeks back as to what can be done with related to the IP and tech transfer in institution. And he was really, really generous to agreeing to come on this panel. Apart from that, with the AICT and the Ministry of Innovation Cell, we are signing an MOU. So that will be also coming forward. And there are some more MOUs in pipeline which will be discussed. So Professor Sajid has been researching about IP and technology transfer aspects. He is handling the research center in the NLU, which is in Powai, near the Dr. LH Reja Hospital. So if you want to go and visit sometime, you want consultation, all those details will be shared by him. So without wasting much time, Sajid sir, over to you. Thank you so much for listening.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Umesh sir, congratulations for such a fantastic opening session. And having sessions post-lunch is always a challenge. But we are talking about a very interesting topic, that is intellectual property. I have been told that many of you are representing your educational institutions. So, lot of questions might be in your mind with respect to the interface between intellectual property and educational institutions. There are certain challenges which you people face. There are some questions in the minds of the students, that why we are protecting this IP, we are living in a free society. And again, as talked about, technology transfer and related issues. So, a quote is there in front of your screen. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And academic institutions, they have a very, very major role, a very important role, because we nurture the students. We nurture their creativity. We are just like potters, who shape the pots. So unless, we have sufficient knowledge about what we are teaching, then again, our students will not be able to reciprocate that. And education institutions, they will give them a vision that what they can actually do. And their vision has to even surpass that very education institution. So that is one of the most challenging responsibility that as an educational institution we all have. So, this is some data. This is fairly, I think, old data, because recently the report of the Press Information Bureau was there that more than 1 lakh patents have been granted in the year last year, and this last financial year ending in the March 2024. But again, when referring to particularly the report which is published by the IP office, and I saw that 19,155 patent applications have been filed by Indian institutions. So it's a very good number, and 275 by foreign institutions. So in all, we can say that 23.46% of the patent filing is by the educational institutions. So at least we can say like 1/4 of the patent filing is by the educational institutions. I'll come to discuss that part also. But again, since the past year, that is 2021, 2022, some improvement has happened in 22-23, and that gives us encouragement and boost. But as an education institution, when we talk about intellectual property, because my specialization particularly is in IP. I've done my master's in that, and sometimes what happens, as a layperson, we mix all the IPs. If we are talking about corporate, we say we'll patent it, because patent is one kind of an IP which is very much emphasized upon, and especially in the engineering institutions and management institutions which you all represent. Everyone talks about patent. But IP is not only about patents. There are other IPs also very, very important. Copyright is there, which protects your literary work, artistic work, photographs, images, cinematograph films. Now we are living in the world of creators. At every home, creators are there. Okay. So with a mobile phone and, with a good idea in mind. So, and YouTube, of course, has given us a very good platform. So, copyright music is going on. We are using OTT platforms. Somehow, we have started recognizing copyright, the importance of copyright. And it is very important because the subject matter which it protects, for example, if we are talking about a movie, not a Hollywood movie, even Bollywood movies, the spending of up to 500 crores, 800 crores, per movie is there, and it is there. The stakes become very, very high, and copyright becomes very, very essential there. You people are also from academic institutions, okay? So, and since we are from academia, publications are very, very important. I'll discuss that point a bit later. But patents, another kind of an IP which protects your innovations. It can be a product, a device. It can be a process also. But again, as per the law, there are certain criterias, like it should be new, it should be inventive in nature, there should be an inventive step, it should be not non-obvious, it cannot be a mere workshop improvement. Okay. I always give this for example to my students, undergrad students, that many of you drive two-wheeler also, and you go to a mechanic shop. He says, I will increase the average of or mileage of this very two-wheeler. So what he does, he reduces the flow of the petrol. So we cannot say that a very new he has innovated or invented, okay, which gives a very high mileage. No, it's just a workshop improvement. So whenever like we are dealing with innovations, okay, because of course, when we all are dealing with students, they have their ambitions, they have their creativity in them. Okay, so we have to find out ways in order to tell them that yes, very good idea, might already be existing, might be so obvious. Okay, so but again, even I say that something which is obvious can be commercialized or monetized in some other form of IP, because in India, the patentability criteria, as we say, they are a bit rigid, they are a bit strict, okay? Especially Section 3D um, is there, and you might have heard about a very important case, Novartis AG versus Unit of India, with respect to that. But nevertheless, other IPs can also be explored. I'll talk about that. For example, this pen which is in my hand. When you were very, very young, still then, that time also pens were existing. Till date, they have been existing. And in future also, I'm sure that they will exist. So, but again, we see that many times what we do, we try to purchase a different pen which looks very attractive. We all have dinner sets at our homes, tea sets at our homes, but still there is a innate desire in ourselves when we go to home shop, when we go to IKEA, we think, "Arey, this looks very, very fascinating." Okay. And that design which is IP I'm talking about, which, it becomes, is very, very fascinating, which attracts our desire to purchase that. So if not a patent, definitely, we can also think about going into the design side, because new and innovative designs, they are important in the market, and they are the one of the key differentiators nowadays. Then trademarks, it's undeniable that they are very important. If just imagine, if we think about going to a market to purchase a toothpaste, what will we purchase? Many of us will purchase Colgate or Pepsodent or maybe Patanjali. So these are very, very big brands. So branding is very, very important, and we can achieve that with the help of trademark. Okay. And with trademarks, we can identify. The purpose is to identify a product of one person from the product of another person. But if you purchase something on which there is no mark, no label, though there might be gold filled in that very bottle or tube, you will be very, very hesitant even to pay 10 rupee for that. Okay. So trademarks are very important. Other kinds of IPs, as faculty, which we should know about them also. Plant varieties are there, because innovation is also happening in these very areas, because we want plants or crops which are pest resistant, weed resistant, which have a better yield, which can adjust to a particular climatic conditions. So in these areas, uh, farmers are also there through their organic manner. They also do this innovation, but breeders are also there. Plant breeders are there. Okay, because nowadays we get these very plants, fruits, vegetables in all seasons, and that is possible because of the innovation in the area of plant variety. Geographical indications are also very, very important. These are indicators which are given to a product, a good, we can say, which has a kind of a reputation or a quality because of its specific geographical origin. So the quality in that very good is because of that association with the region. Okay. You might have heard about Pashmina, you might have heard about Kani shawl, you have heard about Feni of Goa, Chanderi saris. So more than 600 GIs have been registered. I think 623 GIs have been registered till date. And in the past few years, a lot of emphasis is there on GI also, because again, it is about protecting the invaluable treasures of incredible India. This is the slogan which is being used by the GI registry. Okay. And though in India somehow, um, the domestic population, we may not emphasize much these very GI products, but the foreigners, the tourists, okay, they, give a lot of value to these geographical indications, and they are highly, highly commercial in nature with respect to the global trade. And semiconductors and integrated circuit layout designs are there. You people might know about it. There are chips, okay, wherein there is a particular topography of resistors, diodes, and other things, which towards the end, uh, of course, there is a function involved towards the end, but the layout design protects the topography. Okay, so in our laptops, in our radios, mobile phones, these chips are very important. And again, in India, they are not so popular because only two IC layout designs have been registered till date. But fascinating stats I have is that last year, 23 semiconductor and integrated circuit layout designs were filed. Okay, uh, haven't been granted yet, but yes, some shift we are seeing in this very particular area also. Then trade secrets are also there. Okay, though there is no specific law which protects trade secrets like in other countries, but we can protect it through non-disclosure agreements. Okay, when students or faculty members, they are engaging with external audience regarding their work, there might be a need to sign non-disclosure agreements. When students intern with these R&D organizations, non-disclosure agreements become very, very important, so that the trade secrets, which has a lot of commercial value with respect to the business, they are protected. So it is undeniable fact that a lot of importance is there of these intellectual property rights, particularly the IPs also, and they have a huge economic significance. I was reading this 161st report of the Parliamentary Panel Committee on the Review of IPRs, and I saw that they have referred to OECD's report, which draws a relationship between the increase in filing of IPs to the foreign direct investment, and there is a positive relationship. Okay, so now coming to why IP matters for academic institutions. Academic institutions, the primary one of the major responsibility apart from teaching for a particular course, leading to a particular degree, is that we are research driven institutions. Okay, we create knowledge when we are writing research papers, or when we are actually innovating something or creating invention. What is it? It is intellectual property, it is knowledge creation. Okay, and nowadays in this cutthroat world, we have to innovate with speed also, as well as with quality also. um, I may say this, that though a lot of statistics are available with respect to the IP filing, patent filing, as well as grant, but there is a void in the statistics when we talk about commercialization of the IP. Okay. Even if we go through advertisements, or even the parameters of assessing institutional quality, institutional reputation, which is by the regulatory bodies, the present mode is that they focus only on the filing part, and they focus only on the grant part. So the commercialization part is missing. I'm not saying it is not happening. It is definitely happening. Multiple schemes of the government is there, which is and many institutions are also having incubation hubs, industry partnerships, wherein their focus is also commercialization. But it is not happening to that very extent. And one of the reasons can be that quality patents are not coming up. Okay. Um, so again, how to improve that very quality? Multiple parameters can be there. One can be access to the resources. All academic institutions may not have access to resources, may not have access to the level of funding required. So like, for example, 1,000 students per year join an academic institution in a particular degree, but they may have some ideas in their mind, but how many will we be able to fund? Okay, so that is a big challenge, wherein we have to bring in industry partnerships, so that at least through private public partnership, this very responsibility can be shared. So now education institutions also have a mandate to support and incubate startups, but more and more incubation hubs needs to be instituted, established in education institutions. And education institutions, since we are dealing with academia, we become very worried when we talk about funds, or when we talk about partnerships, revenue sharing. Okay, because more or less we think about social welfare, doing it for the society. But again, if we have to fund good research, generate revenue, then definitely we have to think about licensing and technology transfer. And I'll talk a bit about it later also. Industry collaborations, I've talked about it. And if more and more IP is created in all sectors. I'm not emphasizing only on patents here, but I'm also talking about research in copyright, the branding and all. So it will help in promoting entrepreneurship and employability. I have seen many of the education institutions, by incubating certain startups, by helping those very startups. Those startups, they are recruiting the student community or the alumni of that very institution itself. Okay, so they are providing internships to the students of that very institution itself. So that is a very good reason that why we should support these startups within the institution. And towards the end, we know the ranking frameworks, uh, all over ranking frameworks. It is very important how much research we are doing, how much IPs we are filing. Now, the major part of my presentation is about the challenges, and what are these very challenges which we face. First is about plagiarism. Why I'm talking about it? Because when we assign work to the students in the form of their project assignments, this becomes a very big challenge. Okay, and now there are two things. One is copyright infringement, that is legal violation of the right of the copyright holder. But here I am talking about plagiarism, which is an ethical wrong. It may be a legal wrong also, a legal violation also, but it's an ethical wrong. Plagiarism in the simple language means then that if I am using somebody else's work and I'm showing it as my own work, when I'm not giving attribution to the author of that very work, the original author of that very work. For example, a poem is written, towards the end I write Sajid Sheikh. What will people believe? It is written by Sadechev. So UGC also has a policy, a regulation in this regard, which is the promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher educational institutions, a regulation of 2018. We have softwares because at undergraduate level also and at postgraduate level also, and primarily at postgraduate level, what we can say, dissertation is to be submitted. PhD level thesis is to be prepared and submitted by the student to that very academic institution. The guidelines of UGC are very, very clear in this regard. But there are two things. One is similarity, another is plagiarism. Many of us use tools like Urkund, Turnitin. These tools, they can only detect similarity. They cannot detect plagiarism. So plagiarism and similarity are two things. Because even if the work or the text is similar, it will be excluded from the similarity check for plagiarism because on these very certain reasons. One is if we quote that very word. I'm using somebody. See, when we talk about knowledge, I cannot just in my closed door create knowledge. I can create a lot of very good stories. But if I have to create knowledge, I have to refer to existing knowledge. Only then I can improve over it. Right? So if we code that very work and take permission or give that very attribution that yes, this work belongs to this very person, I'm using it, it will not amount to plagiarism. And many times what happens when students submit this very work of similarity check, what they do, they put everything there: bibliography, table of content, table of cases, cover page, acknowledgement, footnotes, everything. So please, that is to be excluded, or we have to train our library staff to exclude those very components and only scan for plagiarism with respect to the main content. Okay, generic term, laws, if we are referring to certain equations, symbols, those have to be excluded. But again, no one has time for that. So what we do in our mind, we know that yes, UGC has prescribed certain percentage of similarity as all right, acceptable, and certain percentage is not acceptable. We abide by that. That is all right. But again, if we are penalizing, the question comes when we are penalizing someone for plagiarism, then we have to be very, very specific to differentiate between what is an acceptable similarity and where lies the plagiarism. UGC understanding is that 14 consecutive words, they will not amount to similarity qualifying plagiarism. And many types of plagiarisms are there. Ghost plagiarism is there, wherein no attribution is there. Paraphrasing or word switch plagiarism is there. Metaphor plagiarism is there, wherein we change the examples. Ram said to Sham, we say Mohan said to Gopal. Okay, so patchwork plagiarism, wherein we just rearrange the text. Okay, first paragraph in the last paragraph in the first. Okay, collusion plagiarism, wherein 2-3 students work together. Okay, wherein they actually had to work separately. Okay, recycling plagiarism. Also, it is going. It is being recognized nowadays, and UGC also has recognized it, and they are about to create certain policy in this regard, wherein we cite our own papers. Okay, so just to increase the citation indexes, we cite our own paper. See, mind it, many of good and reputed journals now they are in the guidelines mentioning, please do not cite your own paper. If it is found that you are citing your own paper, we will not will reject or will again not publish your work. So we have to be very, very conscious about self plagiarism also. It should be avoided. Penalties are there up to 10%, no penalty 10 to 40%. This is for students, I'm telling you. 10 to 40%, the student has to be asked to resubmit the work within 6 months. Then 40 to 60%, student will be debarred from for submitting the project or paper for 1 year, and then about 60% the registration will be cancelled. And in case there is a case of repeated plagiarism, then what will happen? A higher penalty will be imposed on that very student. And there is a institutional academic integrity panel. It is not as a faculty I'll impose or debar a student. No, of course, no. The matter has to go to an integrity panel. All institutions have to maintain that. Similarly for faculty members also, similar kind of rules are there. Even though we might not be working for PhD or our projects, so even if we are writing research papers, mentioning our affiliation to that very institution, still these plagiarism rules or academic integrity rules of UGC will be applied. Okay. The highest is that, you will be denied with the increments. Okay. You will not be allowed, any new scholars for masters or PhD levels. Okay. And again, on repeated plagiarisms, you can be suspended or terminated from your service also. Now, what is our responsibility here? Firstly, our individual responsibility is that, okay, whatever we are submitting, it should not be plagiarized, because students also look upon us. Okay, they'll say, okay, because whenever nowadays of the days of social media, internet, blogs, everything, knowledge can be accessed freely. So students are also a kind of watchdog. In our capacity as supervisor, we have to ensure that the student is actually submitting plagiarism free work. And not in certain cases, all the cases nowadays, as per UGC and as per the PhD regulations of UGC, as well as of the particular institutions. So these certificates are required. One is from the student also, that the work which has been submitted is plagiarism free. And secondly, by the supervisor also, that no research has been undertaken in this very particular area. So we have to be very conscious about whenever we are signing those certificates, because sometimes it may create a problem for us if we have too many enemies. Now, generative AI is there, Chat GPT, which is there. Again, version 3 was there, now version 4 is there. So now, see, we cannot hide from AI. We have to become habitual with AI. We should start using AI. We should know how to use AI. Okay, but how? In a reasonable manner. Okay, nowadays even plagiarism detecting softwares are available, which can detect that yes, this is a copied content. And we have to be very cautious also when we are using it. We should not trust AI fully. I'll tell you, a lawyer submitted, searched, give me cases, landmark judgments on this very case, and whatever judgments Chat GPT produced, submitted before the court, many of the judgments were fake. Okay, makeup kind of judgments were there. Similarly, in high-end research, Chat GPT, can create anything, which might not be true, might be taking from Wikipedia, might be taking from fake news. If you remember, when nowadays it is, there is a website which is taken up by firstpost.com. It is fakingnews.com, I think. So First Post is a very good media house, but I'm saying there another platform is fakingnews.com. So when it came up, and it at that time it was not taken up by First Post. It was an independent work of someone. Many big media houses, they started syndicating feeds from faking news, and this and it was being shown as correct news. Okay, it created a huge uproar also, and a lot of embarrassment for those media houses who just copied some news from those very sites. So we have to be very, very cautious about using AI, because originality issues, proper attribution is not there. We may write to ChatGPT, tell me a very good story, so we may not know it is taken from whom, okay? Or it may be just like Ram Sham, Ram Gopal. So that may also happen. So let us be very conscious, but yes, we should start using it responsibly for generating certain ideas. If we are not so clear about certain research topics in a particular area, we can definitely ask ChatGPT. That is a reasonable way of doing it. Certain formatting issues, for example, I myself used ChatGPT because I had what we can say certain abbreviations which were not in alphabetic order. I asked ChatGPT to arrange them in alphabetic order, and it did it immediately. So those tasks for removing certain breaks, page breaks, or formatting it in a proper manner, capitalizing, all casing, many these menial tasks which are very boring, they can be done by ChatGPT very easily. And nowadays, many institutions are issuing policies on ethical use of AI or guidelines in this regard. I was seeing Columbia University and some Indian universities, they have started doing it. Okay, so as an institution, we should not discourage ChatGPT because we cannot do it now. It can do everything. Okay, so we have to inculcate and start using ChatGPT for academic, administrative, many of the works, but through a proper policy. AICT India has also created a lot of AI softwares. Okay, you can visit this very website, because a lot of translation tools are there. Ideas creating tools are available on this very website of AICTE. You can refer to that. Again, libraries in the academic institutions, they face a lot of challenge, whether photocopying is allowed, whether photocopying is not allowed. Um, so photocopying for personal use, yes, it is allowed, but as an academic institution, we cannot photocopy more than 15% of a particular book. Okay, if the student demands it from us, from the library officially. The point is that there is a society, Indian Reprographic Rights Society, which administers this. They have given this very percentage of 15%. There was a very famous case in Delhi, a Rameshwari photocopy case. Okay, so what used to happen in Delhi, some case books, okay, were prepared by this photocopy services. So it contained some compilation of chapters from various books, and students used to purchase it. In many institutions, it is there, but Cambridge, Oxford, and many Taylor and Francis. So they sued Rameshwari photocopy, wherein Delhi University was also made a party. Now there was so much uproar from the academic community, including authors. They said that, see, why are you suing Rameshwari photocopy? Students cannot afford these very books, which are in dollars, which are in pounds. We are, as authors, are writing it for you. We are doing review work, peer review work for you for free. And this is how you are doing it, giving it back to us. So around 350 authors and researchers wrote to them. It became a huge uproar. So the matter was withdrawn by the Rameshwari photocopy, by these very publishers. But on one aspect, the court was able to give a judgment, was that because there is fair use for educational purpose included in Copyright Act. So there it said that even case books, even if being provided by that very photocopy services, if prescribed by the faculty or by the institution, will amount to fair use of that very work in the course of instruction. Because education institution cannot start giving photocopies or booklets to each and every student. So they have to sublet it to someone. Okay. So this is very interesting. But again, copying full books, they are not allowed. We should instruct our library staff not to indulge into such practices. Even the copies which are available with us, we cannot copy it and we cannot photocopy it multiple times. That is not allowed. We can copy it only when it is not available for sale in the country. If it is available for sale, sorry, we cannot photocopy that. We can also photocopy when only one copy is existing and it is again not available, and for what we can say preservation purpose, we are keeping it. But just like that, copy is $100. We cannot start photocopy in and keep it in our library. Now, power of branding. I was mentioned about this a bit earlier. Umesh sir, how much time do I have? Okay, perfect. But I'll use around 7 minutes, okay? Education institutions, they're also very big brand nowadays. But imagine how many education institutions actually register their trademark. Very few. I was just checking. There is a fest of IIM Mumbai, which is Avartan and Mood Indigo of IIT Bombay. Mediation Bombay is by my university. These are very big events, but we have not registered their trademark. Now you'll ask why to register their trademark. We can start issuing merchandise. Okay, if anyone will copy our merchandise, we can sue that very person. We can start generating revenue for the institution by these very ways. We can, our centers, logos of the centers, research centers and all, we ideally should trademark it. So without trademark also it is protected. Under common law laws, under passing of regulations, it is protected. But if we are trademarking it, then no one can, replicate it without our permission. So it will create a strong brand. Many foreign institutions have been doing so. So it is advised that Indian institutions may also do. Umesh sir was talking about a very famous slogan, catch them young. So inculcating IP from the primary school level in the whole academia, in all the courses should be there. Likewise, like we are now inculcating law in all courses, all programs. Okay, a bit of law. So a bit of intellectual property should be there, because that will bring in each of our mind recognition of somebody else's IP. If we'll start recognizing other person's IP, then only we can think about creativity. Otherwise, I'm very happy, I copy this, I copy that, I'm very happy. So that recognition is very important. I'm giving you a small, one incident which happened. The PMO office used a Diwali greeting, that poster which was of someone else, and that very person sued the PM office. Okay, so at that level also these things happen, but I'm sure it might have happened by mistake. But these things are very, very important and can be achieved if we start recognizing. Research incentivization, in many institutions, such schemes are not available. If that encouragement is not there, then again the research will lack, creativity will lack. So all institutions should, apart from taking help of the initiatives of the government, should also think about internal incentivization mechanism. And I was saying that through private public partnership, more funding. If more funding is there, then yes, more creative opportunities will be available. Uh, then there are challenges with respect to the technology transfer and commercialization. So one is because I was telling you about poor quality of patents. So no one is there to actually use that very technology or patent. Okay. Uh, Whenever, sometimes what happens when we invent something, we do not do market research, market study. What is the need of that very innovation? Okay. All of us, we like Shark Tank. So we know that all inventions or all products, they do not fetch funding. Okay. Only those products will fetch funding, if it aligns with the market demands. So that is why a study should be done before undertaking such products. So tech transfer, you know, uh, systems should be incorporated either in the incubation centers or IP centers in some manner, so that so because you, until unless this licensing will be there. So when we are talking about technology transfer, what do we mean? We mean that yes, I have a patent. Now what to do with this very patent? Until unless I license that very technology to someone or totally sell off, assign my rights to someone else who can actually use it. Otherwise, that very patent is just a piece of paper garbage, nothing else. Okay. So, but again, we cannot force it that yes, third parties have to purchase our patent, but again, it should create that very worth uh, for such use. Okay. Most importantly, there is a need to develop institutional IPR policies. Can you raise your hand? How many of you who are representing your institutions have an in-house IP policy? Even my institution is not having, but we are working on it. But the point which I'm trying to make, because what happens? Many institutions, they are not doing first-hand innovation. Okay, so they think that when we will innovate, we'll create IPR policy at that point of time. Now, at that point, what happens? There is a collusion of interest of the innovator, faculty member, student, and the academic institution. There is no clarity about use of the resources, how much of the resources of the academic institution can be used, what incentive will the faculty get, what incentive will the student get, how incentive will be shared with the industry partner, and then a lot of confusion happens. Institution says, see, you have used my infrastructure, my resources, will not give you any kind of benefit or royalty in that or percentage in that. So there is a cell of for IPR promotion management, CPAM, which have issued model guidelines on the implementation of IPR policy. It is available online. I'm not going to discuss more in detail, but it has given certain suggestions on resource use in academic institutions, how to interact with the students, with industry, revenue sharing, so that everything is put on paper, so that we do not wait for tomorrow when the problem will be created and then we'll create a policy to solve that. Okay. So that will derail the institution a few steps back. So there are certain objectives of that very model guidelines I've shared on the screen. So you can have a look. Towards the end, what is need to be done is that we need to promote high quality research, and by that very high quality research, we can get good quality patents. Many institutions basic IP awareness is not there. So basic IP awareness everyone should have, and again that will happen if we include it in our curriculum, or we through NAC or through IQAC cells of the university, we conduct such awareness sessions for everyone. And I tell everyone that it is not only information, knowledge about patents. You must have basic information about all the IPs. There are free courses. World Intellectual Property Organization is offering a free basic course on IPR. Okay, you'll get certified from WIPO, Geneva. Please visit the WIPO Academy. It's a United Nations agency, and free of cost. You can do it. It takes a month, and it's very easy, and you can get a certificate for that. Then many of the education institutions, they're not thinking about capturing or using the design protection. Okay, so they can also see, one is the fashion institutions, of course they can do so, but even engineering colleges and universities, they can also look into solving certain problems by designing a particular device, a product in a particular manner. So that should also be seen. Then incubation centers, many are not having. One of the suggestions can be that a cluster incubation centers be formed, for example, for 2-3 colleges or 5 colleges, one center, incubation center may be there, or again they can always come back to the innovation center of AICTE. And that market ready solutions should be thought of. More awareness workshops and seminars must be done. One more thing I want to share here is that education institutions, because many of them are supporting villages also, they are helping villages in many manners. So what can be done is that they can also help in getting GI protection, okay, geographic indication protection for a particular good, which is very, very famous in that very particular area. If they represent the interest of those very producers. So this is a very good initiative which education institutions can do. And one more thing is that creating an IP marketplace for academic institutions. Though I just came to know about this very Yukti scheme, which is an innovation repository. But again, there is a repository in UK, which is, I think, Innovate UK. Okay, so wherein it is just like an e-commerce platform. Okay, wherein investors can come and who are in, and the whatever briefs of the technology will be mentioned on those very platforms, and they can invest or they can license those very technologies. So if such marketplace is available, maybe AICT or certain like-minded organizations can come together, so that at least at one platform, the students and the faculty community can get an opportunity to license their patents. So towards the end, again, I'll share that as an academic institution, we have a very big, important role to encourage our students to indulge in high quality research, to indulge in high quality innovation, but at the same time, we should also focus on the academic honesty and academic integrity. Okay, so I rest my presentation here. On my screen, on this very screen, you can see that there is a workshop which is being organized tomorrow. It's a government-sponsored workshop, but it is for MSMEs. If you know someone, some MSME or in your institution, startups are there who have done their Udyam registration, it's a free workshop about schemes of the government, some funding opportunities. About that information will be given. So please, all of you can click this very photo and you can please share among your contacts. So thank you all. If some questions are there, I'll be very happy to take. Let me keep it on screen only.
Yes. So, any questions? Obviously, there will be a lot of questions, so we'll start with them.
Yeah. Good evening. This is Mandar Chaudhary, Assistant Professor from Vidyalanka School of Information Technology. So we are associated with eCell and we are sort of incubating various startups and we are on verge of trademarking few of them. My question is how can our institute, that is college, can have a shared trademark along with the startups?
See, there is no such bar that you cannot have a joint right on the trademark that you can have. For that, you need to enter into an agreement with that very startup. Okay, you can do so. There are IP facilitators who can do it free of cost for you. Okay, you can go to the website of ipindia.gov.in. They have a scheme of IP Mitra. List of facilitators is available there. Government will pay for the facilitation fee. Okay, and you can get their help. Email, phone numbers are available there. Okay, so but yes, this is totally perfectly allowed. You can do so. There is no bar in any of the law. Why you can't do so? There can be multiple owners. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself Dr. Tushar Lokhande, Professor HK College of Pharmacy, Jogeshwari. Sir, from last 3 to 4 years, we are seeing that there is surge of patents in India. So, do you please comment on the basically commercialization of that patent? Because the number of patents increase a lot of, but how much patents are actually commercialized, and whether it is really benefiting India? Because numbers are increasing, but I think outcome will not be probably good. That I just comment on that.
Sir, it is difficult to directly comment, but we have to understand that IP education and IP recognition in India came very late. Though laws were there from the early 19th century, British laws we had, thereafter we had our own laws, okay. But only after TRIPS 1995, trade related aspects of intellectual property rights, and before that few other conventions. So only after that some emphasis was put on this, okay, on recognizing intellectual property. Before that, what we were doing is that we were thinking of means how we can circumvent IP. Okay, so that is a thing. But again, firstly, so government also had a strategy. firstly, let us at least start filing. Let us give a kind of motivation to the students and innovators. Okay, firstly, at least you file now. But again, with respect to commercialization, because now it is a race. We are in this very race, filing race. How many file? You will see advertisements online on media. This education institution filed 300, 500 patents. How many were abandoned? No one tells you about it. How many granted? Until unless you will see on the annual report, no one will tell you. I'm not saying that it is unethical or wrong, but we need to change our approach. That is why I suggested that institutional parameters must change. Yes, we'll fund you for creating a patent, getting a granted patent, but what you did with it later on. How much of revenue you brought with it. But again, that will not happen until unless we have clear-cut policies. Such policies wherein we incentivize the student also, we incentivize the faculty who is giving a lot of time, day in, day out, apart from the academic activities. So clear-cut mechanism should be there, and definitely we'll see a lot of improvement. And again, I was seeing that in the past few years, the things have improved. You are audible.
Sir, if institute decides to frame a IP policy, what major points it should consider while framing the policy?
Sir, first point should be about to what level institutional resources can be used. Because please try to understand, we are talking about revenue sharing models. Okay. So to what extent institutional resources can be used? Okay. Secondly, provisions about ethics. If institution is backing a particular research, institution should get a guarantee from the researcher that their name will not be tarnished, reputation will not be diminished, right? Third, about how institution will be dealing with the student and what are the rights and responsibilities with faculty, with third party, if it is a funded research with that very funding organization. Okay. So before undertaking such assignments, there should be proper, what we can say, agreements signed, right? It should be ensured that unnecessarily somebody else's right we are not taking. If you have innovated, you have a right to royalty. Okay, so unnecessarily something should not be, a right should not be snatched away. So a bit of ethics, legality, all these things should be taken care of. And again, revenue sharing percentages are suggested in that very model guidelines. If you'll refer to that, it's around 10-20 pages guidelines that is there. And maybe we'll speak to sir also how we can help you all in preparing that very policy.
So may I ask one question? I'm Shubhangi Kharche from SI's Graduate School of Technology, Nehru Navi Mumbai.
Yes.
Every year I fill the information for NIF ranking, and I find that copyrights are not given weightage in NIF ranking as patents are given. What is the reason behind that? Also, other committees like NAC and BA do not consider copyrights. So I want
Right.
to know, just
Well,
want to know.
I'll tell you, very good point. Okay, though importance is given on publication, okay, not on copyright per se. Because when we are talking about copyright, in copyright only originality matters. If I create a very bad painting, if it is my original work, the law will provide copyright to it. If I write the worst of essay or project, I will get copyright if it is my original work. Okay. Therefore, if we start giving weightage to copyright, then I can create 10 copyright works right now. Okay, I'll scribble something, my work. So that is why. So it is not that intellect is not imbibed into that or put in that. It is there, but again, there is a possibility of misusing that. But again, the research that is valued, and that matters for all ranking frameworks. Uh, yes, see, it is always recommended in all my talks, whenever I go, wherever I go, I always suggest before engaging with any organization, any firm, any professional who is helping you out with patenting, you should sign a non-disclosure agreement with them. Good professionals will, they in-house, they have non-disclosure agreement. First thing they'll say, okay, sign this agreement. So that is see what happens now. Again, we academia, people in the academia, we are not thinking about money and commercial aspects. So we just keep on talking about our research with people. Okay, so we should be very, very conscious to what platform we are telling and what we are telling. Okay, because patents particularly, novelty is a very, very important aspect. If I tell about my invention in such a significant manner that anyone can recreate it, I have lost my novelty. Okay, then I will, if for example, the third person who listened to this very talk registered, filed for a patent, I cannot do anything because that person filed it first. So we have to be very, very conscious. We have to be very, very conscious even when we are doing a closed group study also about the effectiveness of a particular invention. So we should have those very non-disclosure agreements signed with each one of that very subject with whom we are testing our invention. So non-disclosure agreements are must. Those should be the first step. Before filing, sir. Because see, you will be disclosing your invention to the professional na, when he will prepare claims, when we will prepare abstract, description, other things. You have to disclose. What is the guarantee in your hand? Nothing. So agreement before fine.
So you mentioned regarding the college events, right? The events what we organize inside the college, or for that matter, any kind of event,
Yes.
you know, in public domain. How important it is, like, now, after listening to you, I'm really thankful to you that a lot of awareness regarding such important aspect has been given to your discussion.
Most welcome.
But I'm really interested how easy that process would be, and how important it would be to have the entire process in my control or in my team's control, and how it would help me to generate revenue as in,
All right. See, first thing, whenever you are doing it for your institution, okay, then institution will be the main party. You have to understand that. Now, second thing is because that it cannot be in your name, that trademark, ideally, until unless you have an agreement with the institution in that regard. Secondly, I definitely talked about trademarking events. But we should not trademark all events. We are conducting this very event tomorrow. I see it is the title is too long. Okay, I may use a different title in the next event. Okay, so all events there is no need to trademark, but those very events which you are portraying it like a brand, wherein a lot of fund mobilization is there, just like the program Avarhan of IIM and Mood Indigo. So, you know, the crores of funds, crores of rupees of funds are being utilized, mobilized through that. And if they start selling, you know, trademarking it properly, of course, now see, nowadays also they sell merchandise. But if they trademark it properly, okay, they can open up to the external markets also. They can have their own souvenirs also. They can start selling souvenirs with those very marks. Okay. So again, we have to keep in mind that yes, it is good for brand building.
Okay, sir, one last question. Any other questions we have apart from, okay, one last question. Then we will have sir for panel discussion, and also later on after the session, he'll be maybe here. He has to rush actually for tomorrow's event also. Sir, yeah, kindly turn on the mic when you speak.
So this question may be to sir as well as Rathod sir also. It's regarding that under IIC, we have Yukti repository. So in Yukti repository, there is nothing like the patent is there or not. Still, we used to put our projects or students'
Idea.
projects their idea. So how that IP is protected, or is there is like you said some disclosure agreement or all that?
Sir, it is not protected at all. It is just a platform wherein if there is someone who can give a hand holding to that very idea and make that very idea usable, okay, by either creating a product or process. So I believe that Yukti platform is that.
So
because we have so many ideas. I have an
Yeah.
idea of creating a time machine.
No, it's
But-
not just idea. There is a brief description of the project. As you said, that something just novelty is there. Maybe just title itself is an
Sir,
Yeah.
again, sir, point is that there are 10 things available in the market. Do we purchase all 10? Of course, no. We purchase one which we need. So therefore, but having a repository, having that very option is there, right? Only then the private player, that company, funding organization, if it aligns with their work, they will come back and help in development of that.
Thank you, sir.
To add to, because you also addressed that to me. So obviously the repository is to get to know what is happening in the ecosystem and keeping the faculties and the institution at the two. Otherwise, there is no availability of information and what is happening. So many activities, as I mentioned earlier, are happening in the ecosystem. But if you don't have a method to backtrack that, innovation हो रहा है कहाँ, IP कहाँ create हो रही है, तो वो information per se है. And then we are also helping you to कपिला से हम आपको IP create करने भी दे रहे हैं. तो हम नहीं create कर रहे IP आप ही create कर रहे हो सर. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have a huge applause for sir?
Thank you so much to the Innovation Center of AICT, IIM Mumbai, and all the participants who spared their valuable time, listen to me. Okay, so you can get in touch with me. I'll share my details. Thank you.
Yeah, can we have an applause again? Thank you, Sajid sir, for that wonderful and inspiring session and insightful session on the IP. Now we are going to the next segment of the day. That is the pitching event. And for that, I would like to invite the startups. We have we have kind of invited only 2 startups due to the sanctity of the event. Some startups could not come because of the kind of rains we have. Some startups wanted to present it virtual because they were attending some internship. They are from Mumbai and Maharashtra, but they were in Delhi. So that's why we could land up with only lucky 2, I can say. So I would like to invite Mr. Ravinder Singh, sorry, my apologies, for the first presentation. It will be a 10-minute pitch followed by the feedback from the investor and the incubator CEOs. So joining us for the investor from the investor network, we have Chintan Oja, sir. So, yeah, can we have an applause for sir? So on the website, we have an investor network where we are also adding up new investors, district-wise, zone-wise. You can also invite them for this session. Next, we have Samir Karulkar, sir. Can we have an applause for him? They both will also be joining us for the panel discussion to give an investor insight. So right now we are having a thought process from the faculty perspective and the institutional perspective ki file karna hai patent. And when we look at commercialization and licensing, we need someone to buy it also and to fund that idea, right? Then we have the incubator CEO, Shri Uday Vankawala ji. Many of you might be already aware. He is heading the Atal Incubation Center, Rambhav Malgi Prabodhini. We also are joined by esteemed Professor Koteshwar Rao ji. He is an amalgamation of 3, I should say. He is an IP faculty, he is IIC convener from the IIM Mumbai, as well as he is also heading the incubation center. So we also have him on the panel, right?
Without food, you can live for 1 week. Without water, 3 days, and without air, 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. And now it is polluted too. So what we are doing for that? Nothing. We are just installing indoor air purifier in our home, and we don't care about outside. But there should be a permanent solution for that, right? Don't worry, we are Clarifier, and we will help you tackle that problem. We are building outdoor air purifier and revolutionizing the air purification industry. Our product, Clarifier's Air Linic, is a revolutionary outdoor air purifier with a multi-layer of filtration system and automatic self-cleaning system, which can be installed on roads, in campuses, schools, hospitals, anywhere. Right now, the biggest problem is air pollution, we all know, and the reasons are burning of waste, industrial pollutions, and construction and demolitions of buildings, etc. Every year, 1.7 million people die in India because of air pollution. And when we're talking about global, it's approximately 11 million. So we need a permanent solution. Right now, the problem in the air purification industries are the unaffordability, to be said. That indoor air purifiers can range from 15,000 to 1 lakh, while the outdoor ranges from 1 lakh to 10 lakh rupees. And after that, if you have bought, the problem comes is centralized system. Usually the outdoor air purifiers, which are already present in the market, they are going with a centralized system. They think that we need to install one air purifier and it can cover an area of approximately 100 meters, 50 meter, like 500 meters. Examples is one of the air purifier tower installed in Delhi. After 6 months, government told that it is not working properly. So we need a distributed system. And after that, extensive design. The problems in the industry is there are very big air purifiers. We need small and distributed solution. And after that, after everything you bought, the problem is high maintenance. We need to replace the filters again and again to maintain its efficiency. So we need solution. We need self-cleaning filtration system, which is universal, concise dimension, which can be installed on pole, walls, or even on the grounds. And we need for the governments, for the schools, societies, etc. And after that, economical. It should be cheap, that everyone can afford it. And it should have a capability of approximately more than 100 meters. So we have a technology. We have Air Linux even is a patented technology. It's a cost-effective, multi-layer and automatic self-cleaning filtration system, which is approximately cover an area of 4,000 square feet, and which can capture VOCs, particulate matters from 0.3 to approximately 100 or more than that. So this is our prototype design, which we built in 1 year before. And later we did a small trial in Thane, and it was successful, partial successful. It was a POC. And after that, we are building the final product MVP, which is going for a mass level. And it is, as I showed you, this is the unit which we are building. It will be ready in next 10 days approximately. And our revenue models, we are selling the single unit for 2 lakh rupees. After that, 30,000 per year maintenance annually. And later we can monetize data as well as the byproducts, which will be like dust and soot particulates. Air quality index data will be the most accurate data, which we can sell it to insurance companies and EV manufacturers, everyone, for their increasing in the sales in that particular area. This is our strategy which we have built. The first unit cord, second Air Linux, and the third will be hybrid version. The cord will be for the small restaurants and balconies, which are like approximately 100 square feet area. If you are having your own private lawn, you can install the cord. If the, which will be 90,000, and we will be going with online marketplaces like Amazon and Flipkarts. And after that, we'll be going with the digital collaborations, etc. Air Linux is of 4,000 square feet, and it will be of 2 lakh rupees. It can cover an area of 4,000 square feet. And it's like direct to small businesses and commercials as well. We will be going with industry associations and other collaborations as well. And after that hybrid version, it will be of 7,000 square feet covering area, and it will be of 3 lakh rupees. We will be going to CSRs, non-government organizations, etc. So this is our competitor, Prana Air, Strata Envera, Pran, Vayu, and Mana Number. What we are providing combined is no other product is providing. It's self-cleaning, portable dimension, efficiency, and main thing, affordability. This is our some of the comparisons which we made. There are other products which have their cleaning air delivery rate, speed of the fans, noise comparison, and the price as well. So we are the best in this. The market, we can set a market size. Since 1.2 billion market size will be of air purification industry by 2032. It is growing with a 28.51% every year. So like, sorry, it's a compound annual growth rate. So the global air purifier market is of 14 billion by the, it was of 2022. So we are targeting 35% of the population. We know in 35% of the population lives in India, in urban region. And we are targeting that urban region. We are targeting 50% of them. So our total available market was 35%, 50% of that, 200 cities with 190 municipal corporations, including residential complexes, industrial areas, government offices, etc. So we are targeting 30% of them, which are Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, highly polluted cities. So in next first year, we will be able to sell approximately of 2,500 units of outdoor air purifier. Since there are outdoor sitting restaurants, we can sell cord to them. And there are 160 hotels industries and 83. It's like corporate campuses in India, registered corporate campuses. So we can target and we can have 60%, 40%, 32% in 1 year, next 1 year. This is our traction we have already received from 7 chemical plants, 2 SMEs, 18 societies, high societies, and colleges and municipal corporations of including BMC, TMC, and PMC, and 3 hospitals as well. This is our team. I'm Rabin Pratap Singh, founder and CEO. I will be handling marketing and strategy. We have also Cornell University Accelerator Program. This is Vibhor Shukla. He's leading the logistics and supply chain. He's also 25 plus years of experience. Then Vipin Kakar, he's handling the operations and sales. He was the head of the procurement in Tadmur, which is and Arab Tech, which built the Burj Khalifa. And we have also Chintan Oja. He's our mentor and advisor. And he's the founder of Anantam Ecosystem. And he is a G20 member of council member of Alliance Task Force. So this is our goals and roadmaps. Till now, we have achieved our prototype testing MVP. By this month in July, we will be ready with our product certifications and trial. And August, we will be doing a pilot run in Mumbai. And after that, geographical in September for product enhancement, and later production of the manufacturing of the unit and all the products, and later geographical expansion in March. This is our resources. We have already got the Best Innovation Award in 2023. CR2, the second runner-up for the EOGSEA Global Student Entrepreneur Award, and a finalist of Green Tech Startup by the Russia. It was an international BRICS Summit event. And we got the finalist, and we got the opportunity to present Indian startup in Russia. And this is our Cornell Maha 60. We have associated with Atal Incubation RMP, with Sandeep TBI, and with Riddle. And this is our government institutions which have supported us, Department of Industry of Maharashtra, Maharashtra State Innovation Society, and Ministry of Electronics and IT, and Skolkotic. This is our investment and fund utilization. We are raising for 6 CR and 7% and with an 18 month of runaway period. And thank you so much. With Clarifier, unleash the air revolution. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you may ask.
It's a wonderful innovation, you can say. When you install your air purifier, right? So it purifies air. So in the air, you have a COX, NOx, COX, SOx, NOx, right? What will happen to that? This will become a sludge in this. I mean, this purifier, all those particles, and what will happen to those waste material?
Okay, sir. So we are working on that too. Actually, there are 4 filtration systems. Whatever be the size, it will be going for the first layer. After that, 2.5 will be for the second layer. Then the third layer for particulate matter 1, and the last will be of 0.03. So when that will be automatic self-cleaning system we have installed. After that, the dust will suck and it will be go down. From that we can collect it, and later we can use some chemical. We are working on that to dilute it with the chemicals and water. So the soot, the particulates will be as above, and the mud will be like the dust will be going down.
So the oxygen level in the purifier air will.
So we are not handling with the oxygen levels, since it's when I was doing the research, the biggest problem what I saw is not the gases which killed to the people, like harmed people, the dust, because it enters into our streamlines and which causes a clotting. So that is why the biggest problem is not the gas, but the dust particulates, the fine dust particulates. So first we will be capturing that, and later with the extended version which we are coming, we have thought about it. We are using some fractional distillation method to separate the gases from the air, from all the gases which will be there, and later we can separate it. So we haven't worked on that, but we are first working on the main problem of dust capturing, and after that we will be going with oxygen and nitrogen gases.
So it will capture only the dust.
Yes, sir. Later we will be with extended version.
So oxygen levels and all nothing to do with this,
no,
right?
It will be just showing the monitoring, like what is the
air quality index.
Yeah, but later with an extended version with a good R&D setup, we can work on that, and we have thought about that, because there is also the problem is carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide as well, and the other gases. So we are working on that, but still this is our first product which we are building.
Thank you. Good.
In hospitals, lot of germs, bacteria, might be there. So what will happen if those germs get into that very filtration system? And you're saying it's self-cleaning, whether it can kill those very germs also when it cleans itself? Because it will compromise the whole system.
Yes. So we have used a HEPA filter, one of them, which is used in medical grades for the hospitals to capture the dust particle, but it captures the dust, but it then after that it can't be removed. Like we will be replacing that, and that is why we will be having the service and maintenance charges to replace the HEPA filters.
Maybe some UV light or something like that you can add.
Yes, sir. So we are working on the it, yes, sir. Because HEPA will be like it will be capturing the bacteria. But yes, sir, since some of them will be released, still at that point for the outlet we will be using the UV
Also,
filter on it.
secondly,
Yes.
Have you thought about or know the noise level of these very filters?
Yes, sir. Usually, the air purifier for the outdoors, the existing air purifiers, which are there are Strata and Vera. I went into Ujjain. I saw one of the air purifiers, the Strata air purifiers, and even one was installed in Thane, Tinat Naka. So after what happened was they were using usual filter systems like filter nets. The dust particles were captured, and later they have to remove the whole that's net, and they have to replace it. So this is the reason what they were charging so much, but we are charging very least because all. Yes, yes, I can.
My question is regarding the noise level.
Yes, so
So sound.
so usually they don't have any motors. They had only one motor. It was of 80 approximately 86 decibel. But we are trying to suppress this to bring it to 75, 70 because
If you are covering the area of only 1,000 square foot up to 4,000, 1,000 square foot is a very small area.
Yes.
And even 20 decibel is very high.
Yes, sir. So but
So
what the
people will not be, conveniently using it then.
so for the air linic, since air linic will be installed outside, that is why the decibel point which I said about 75, it will be for the air linic. But when we are talking about the quad and the second version, it will be more suppressed because the high power motors they are not there. They are very small motors.
Fine, because you said that some can be used in balconies and other places. So noise level is a very important factor.
Yes.
Because noise can lead to migraine also.
Yes, sir. But sir, at the sir, you have indoor air purifiers, right? So you have indoor air purifiers. The noise level is very low. So we are building the quad version on that basis, but the air linic will be very powerful. So that is why we are using the 75 decibel. So we can bring it down, sir.
So, any other questions from the faculty? Okay, one question. Then we move to the next pitch.
Hello, sir. Did you get patent for this?
Yes, ma'am. We have
Sir, actually, there are many air purifier in the market. So, what is the innovative thing about this?
Ma'am, we
Actually, I
have
didn't.
used the self-cleaning system, which
It is-
self-cleaning and the use of the multi-layer multi-layer filtration is common, but the self-cleaning system, it is the best thing which we have no one product have built. That technique and the design which we have built, the principles.
The principle is new.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravindra. I think with that, yeah, we will invite the next team.
Thank you so much.
from VJTI College. Amir, 10 minutes. It will take some time, but it will be there. Connected it? Yeah. I think it's a loose connection. Try it again. So this pitching session, why I had purposefully kept in during this session was to give a gist as to what we intend to do when we come to your campuses. So we'll have investors, we'll also invite the incubation centers, the nearby incubation centers, and they will have to have a deck, a standard deck. So this is available on the net. So when you see, we can templatize a lot of things. There can be a template of pitch deck, there can be a template of IPR policy, there can be a template of a lot of other things. So this needs to be created at the back end at the IIC level. This cannot be created by Innovation Center or AICT because it will be different for each institute. So you will have to, apply the skills, utilize the resources, involve the students also in this process. So they also get to know what is it all about. Okay, over to you, Amir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amir Zakaria. I'm a third year student pursuing electronics and telecommunication at VJTI. I specialize in product development.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aditya Chakrabarti, and I am also an engineering student. However, I have a keen passion in business. I already have a couple of startups running, and all of them have been incubated thanks to some hackathons in which we have participated and institutions like these. So let's get started.
So our company's name is Osmium. As we all know, in today's day and age, every sector is booming with the help of AI and industrial revolution. Each sector is being improvised every day, and one sector which is left behind at most of the times is the domain of education. A sector which is directly responsible for the growth, development, and prosperity of the nation. So our startup is mainly focused on improvising and enhancing the today's current traditional modes of teaching into a more AI-based and a more technologically oriented system. So the problem which we face is that currently there are very limited companies which are providing solutions in the domain of education, and the solutions which are provided, the costing is comparatively much higher and not affordable by most of the schools and institutions in India. So for this, we all know that from the traditional modes of teaching using chalk and blackboard, we came down to whiteboards, and to add the digital aspect, we started using of these projector-based teaching. But the issue that was occurring was the seamless mode of teaching wasn't being achieved. Why? Because when a professor had to explain a particular digital diagram, they had to make use of these blackboards and these whiteboards. Many students weren't able to connect the dots and weren't able to understand the content what the teacher was planning to explain. Then came these smart boards wherein there was a one-step solution to provide a seamless mode of teaching. However, the issue with smart boards was that they were economically not feasible by and affordable by most of the schools and institutions in India. So the product which we have built is an economic smart board along with AI capabilities to leverage and improvise the teaching and learning experience. So you all can see the product picture over there towards the left-hand side of you all. That is the product that we have developed over 6 months. And the current market price for these products is 1,40,000 in the current market. However, have successfully been able to reduce the costing of a selling point, even with a percentage of profit to buy around 75%. So the traditional ones you will purchase for 1,40,000, and the solution which we are presenting is affordable by most of the schools and colleges.
So we did a little bit of survey. So a lot of people had to say this. There are already projectors. You can work on your laptop and show anything on the screen. So why do you need a smart board to begin with? And in fact, a lot of government schools and colleges have already implemented projectors. To that, I have to say is that when we did our survey, we realized that projectors are very underutilized. Why? Because in rural places, the teachers themselves do not have laptops. The students do not have laptops. So they are not able to use the projector. They do not have powerful laptops. If, for example, this cable is not working, the government does not replace the cables for them. So basically, they are not able to access the digital education which we get to access in private schools and colleges or in Mumbai. So this is for the masses. This is for the larger India. So I would like to touch upon a few features. So a lot of people will think there's a 75% cost reduction. Where have you cut corners? Nowhere. Okay, the answer is nowhere. In fact, we have actually added a lot of more features. So you would get 10-point touches. You'll get an electronic stylus. You'll get diverse OS compatibility. You'll get a surround sound system. You will get multiple options of compute and multiple screen sizes. You will get all the AI features like multilingual support or transcript generation. You will get hybrid mode so that you do not have to depend and pay Google, for example, to use Google Classroom. You can directly do that through our application, and so on and so forth. Another survey which we did, and in fact a lot of mentors also told us, is that if you're targeting rural places, they do not have battery backups. They do not have electricity throughout the day. So for that, we have also included a battery system in this. Again, that comes at a cost, but it's extremely negligible compared to what our competitors sell. So just to touch upon, our software interface is completely the way you would find it in any branded application. We have AI models which literally summarize all the online lectures. We have digital classrooms made by us, and you can also use hybrid teaching. We have ourselves made the battery backup, the BMS system. We have ourselves made the accessories. We have designed the stylus. We have designed the speakers. And in fact, we have multiple compute. So you can take a lower compute variant to a very higher compute variant to run 3D applications and all of that.
So all this is done just to improvise the traditional modes of teaching so that the solution which we have projected will effectively improvise the overall learning experience of the students, as well as the professors will be able to teach in a more efficient manner. What happens exactly in today's schools and colleges is when a professor walks into the classroom and a professor is teaching a particular topic or a particular chapter in the class, there is a very limited number of students who jot down notes, and when it comes towards examinations, only a few are left with the revision matter, with the content which is able to get them those marks to score and clear those subjects. However, with our technology, with our smart board which we have designed, the professor is easily able to send the entire content into a PDF, which is then transferred into a large language model which generates a summary of the topic. It also mentions related topics which a student can refer to for enhanced learning and enhanced knowledge experiences.
All of this is already present in the market, but nowhere it comes all packaged in one solution.
Last 1 minute.
Yep. So here are a couple of reviews and critical acknowledgements by professors and students alike. However, these are normal people. I would like to point out a very specific thing that we have already received grants from Yukti and the Ministry of Education of around $500,000 Indian rupees. We have also won the Smart India Hackathon with the same product and many more hackathons. So that shows the legitimacy and the demand of the product. The judges, the mentors have come from such regions and they really found value in what we had to say. A little bit about market opportunity. So we calculated the TAM, SAM, and SOM, and we realized that India has a huge potential. A lot of schools and colleges have given us orders. We are only waiting for certifications. We started this project around December last year, and I think we have come a long way since. Want to add something? Okay, so there are two business plans. We are yet to start actually selling, but one is direct to sales, direct to customers. So content creators, offices, schools, colleges, institutions, tuitions, etc. And on rent basis also to some academies which cannot afford an upfront cost because they need to have smart boards in every classroom, and some colleges and schools have like hundreds of classrooms. So that becomes a very big upfront cost for them. We have been sticking to the roadmap. We made this last November, December, and we haven't edited it. And we have stuck to it till date. And we are looking for a launch in September. So the team consists of around 4 people with our mentor, Dr. Farooq Qazi sir. Amir is looking after the product entirely. He's extremely good at it. And I'm looking at the business side of things. We have around 2-3 more people working as interns. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
This product size is 43 inches.
Yes. So we can create it in any size. So the picture that you saw over here is of 43 inches.
Because most of the places, this board is
Yes, it's much larger so we calculated an average size required for 30 students. So we stuck to 43 inches for the initial development phase. But upon receiving more funding, we plan on expanding it. So the 55-inch variant with our costing, it's coming around similar lines of pricing, but it is relatively much less compared to the market prices which are given.
So the front glass is very stronger, you can even push it,
Yeah. So this is a very durable product. The main cost reduction came in terms of innovation in touch screens, in LCDs, and also these companies have a monopoly. They artificially inflate the prices. It's not so high. These are the 2-3 places where we have been able to bring down the cost. The main thing is the touch. And yeah, the same tech can be used for any size. We can go all the way from tablets to literally big screens like these. In our school, in our college, we have 56-inch smart boards. And yeah, we can easily make that in under 50,000.
Under 50,000, okay. And I mean, you can use it as a TV also, right?
Yes. So it will have the OS of your choice. So you can use Ambient, Linux, Windows, anything, Android, or any smart OS that you want, and you can run anything on it. So even TV is possible.
Good. Wonderful innovation. Because cost reduction is one of the the strength for this innovation, what I say.
Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah.
How replicable is this, or what's the moat? One is the outcome from a cost point of view, but you're running a business, A. Costs can kill you more than make money for you, A. So how difficult is replicability of a product?
So it is not easily replicable. Why? Because if it was, then the current businesses which are running and developing this product, they would utilize that methodology of creating this solution. However, there might be some drawbacks which we haven't come forth since it's only been 6 months. So there are yet to be, the product testing phase hasn't been gone through. So replicating a product won't be that easily.
So I'll give you a little bit different answer to this. The thing is, we have innovated on the front of touch screens. Okay, so the normal touch screens which we have on our phones are very expensive because they are resistor based or capacitor based. Ours is neither; it's IR based. So the thing is, this exists from more than 50 years ago. But then companies forgot about it and probably did not use it. Probably they found some flaw that they did not work towards it. I think we have that right now with us. With some R&D, I'm very sure other companies will be able to catch up with us, but I think till then we would be much more ahead.
I'll give you an answer which you should tell when next time you pitch someone. Is existing people may not want to cannibalize their existing products if they launch this.
Yeah.
That's why you will not have an Amazon or other people competing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Apart from this 43 inches screens, you also have an opportunity for a smaller size screens, like for notice boards and areas in cafeteria where you can also capture various
Digital
ads and all, right? So you can provide an entire digital screen solution for the academia, and then at a later date you can also control those screens, right? Time bound ads, and then help them change remotely, etc.
Yeah.
So that is something that you should consider of.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. We haven't thought about it in that way, and that would be a different business line altogether going into the ads business. But one thing is these screens are very commoditized. Like TVs you can buy for very less also. The USP we have is that this is a touch screen. You can write on it, and it's not like touch like a phone. You can actually write proper alphabet on
So
it.
without touch, it becomes more cheaper.
Yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
then you become the sole service provider, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Other part is I just wanted to understand what percentage of this product is made in India?
So assembly is in India. The compute or most of the components are imported.
That's where my next question was with regards to imported sort of a thing. I mean, how much you can really make it on your own that's indigenized. Look into that. The second part is I'm sure you would have gone to few users, customers. How much have you validated this? Maybe just your experience. I know this is still tech under development, but still, I mean, have you gone to any of those users, consumers, or and if yes, then what sort of users and consumers you have gone to?
So we have been to heads of institutes, and we have been to professors and teachers, and we have also been to students. We have not been to content creators or business owners.
So this is just academia.
Yeah, and academia has appreciated it a lot. And in fact, a few people even said, "Ki just let us know when you're ready to sell."
Okay, thanks.
So
right now it's nothing fixed as of yet, but we are looking for 1 crore for 20%.
So the main thing is we want to set up our own factory line and, as you said, actually make it in India. But as such, we have not thought about it in that direction. First, we want to complete our product, sell a few units, and then go in that direction.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any one question from the faculties? Okay, yes. Can we get the mic over there? Yeah, okay, two questions. Quickly, we'll do that and so we can.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm audible?
Yes,
Yeah, you said that your product is an integrated one, right? So you're collecting the content of the different platforms which are rightly available in the market now. Now, when you're giving this particular final product to the students, how do you cross-validate the content? What you're pitching to the students is 100% plagiarism proof.
No, so we are not providing any educational material to the students. This
Okay.
is just a smart board and the applications on it. Like, for example, Google Classroom, we have another version of it. Or, the Smartboard app, we have our own version of it. So it's the infra. We are not doing the teaching material. The teaching material is for the professors and individual students.
Okay, so when you hand over the content to the professor, are you validating there with any?
We are not
AI?
handing over any content to the professor.
You're not handling any content.
Yeah.
Okay, so just an integrated tool you're providing for the
Correct.
service.
So this is a tool. Yeah.
It's a tool, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
My curiosity. At hello. Recently, just we have purchased one of the popular brands smart panel display. It is 1.85, 1,85,000. One of the slide you have shown that it is 145 is a cost and considering the form
Yes, yes, it's a
hardware.
complete solution in 35,000. Yes, yes, including the software, including the hardware.
Okay, what size of the screen?
So the starting is 43 inches. It can range up to 55, up to 65, according to the need and requirement of the end user.
And what will hardware for that?
So basically, the main changes will be in the LCD display, which we have to make it larger, and the touch frame, which we have to provide a larger one.
So that will this
Yes,
is
yes.
this is a manufacturing cost.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And when will we put it in? Will be the cost?
The making
Month.
cost per product is 22,500 with a percentage of profit around 10 to 15%. We are wanting to sell it for 35,000.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much, Amir and team. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah. Just be there. Can we have a larger applause? Yes. So before we move ahead to the panel discussion, I would just want to check, is there any other startup team who wants to pitch have arrived now? Any faculties who have a startup deck ready and want to pitch right away? Okay. So because there were so many things happening and due to the rains, a lot of things have disturbed. Okay, so we move on to the next segment now. I would like to call upon the panel for the day. It's a very important topic, the institutional challenges in IP and tech transfer. And in marketing, I don't know how many people have gone through those lessons on marketing. We call a customer journey, right? A product life cycle, right? So likewise in IP and tech transfer also, there is a IP life cycle or IP journey. In tech transfer, we have a tech transfer journey and tech transfer, life cycle as well. And to address these issues on a common platform, though we wanted to only do an IIC meet, I thought it would be better to get people on board who are from the industry to give you gist about what's happening in the market and what is anticipated. We as academicians are creating IPs in silos. We are working on some PhDs and we are creating like IIT Delhi has a PhD program where they have asked students to maybe write a thesis, but with that, can you do a startup on that? Similar is with BITS Pilani. But do we have an understanding as to what the market needs? What is expected from the investor? What does that the incubator centers are looking at? And what is the role of the handholding from the government, like TIH we have in IIT Bombay? So we have a mixed panel, including two IIC members. So I would like to call upon Professor Dr. Koteshwar Rao ji on the stage, please. Can we have an applause for him? Yeah, can it be louder? Okay. Next we have up Sri Uday Vankawala ji, the AIC head of Rambhav Malgi Prabodhini. Next we have Sri Hardik Joshi ji. He is the CEO of TIH IIT Bombay. This is a platform funded by the DSC. You'll get to know a lot of things from him now in the discussion. Sri Chintan Oja ji, founder and managing partner at Anantam Ecosystems. Can we have a larger applause? Yeah, he is part of our IIC community also. He has been mentoring a lot of students from the IIC community. We have Sri Samir Karulkar ji. He is founder and partner Coverage Ventures Advisory LLP. We have already listened to Professor Sajid Sheikh. Can we have an applause and ask him to join us on stage? And we have two representatives from the IIC, Sri Vinit Kumar Dongreji, Professor Dr. Vinit Kumar Dongreji from Thakur College of Engineering. Can we have an applause? I wanted everyone to be here, but we cannot have everyone. So we have representatives. And then we have Dr. Aparna Bonde, ma'am from Datta Mege College of Engineering. A larger applause. Yeah, without her, this panel would have looked a little tricky for me. I wanted a woman representation. Yes, friends, yesterday I was searching who can be that. And when I looked at the list, 20 patents from Datta Mege, I thought she's the one. She can also give us good insights. Okay. So may I ask you to please have a seat? We'll start the panel discussion shortly. We have one more mic, right, in the audience. Ram, you have a mic, right? हाँ, वो यहाँ पे रख दीजिए. So, can we have a 1-minute quick introduction of yourself? And while you are doing that, I would like to, ask you one common question, so you can put some light on it. What do you see as the most significant institutional challenge in IP and technology transfer within academia today? So, who would like to take it first? We'll go from here. Okay, now you can take it, sir. Okay, so we'll start with Sajid sir then.
Like in my earlier presentation, I said that lack of quality inventions. That is, I think, significant challenge because if there is no utility in the market for those inventions, it is difficult to find companies or industry who would actually want to seek license for such inventions. I think quality patents and quality inventions we have to work on.
Yeah, I would like to introduce first myself. That is, I'm Aparna Bonde from Dattamagi College of Engineering, and I'm handling the IIC convener position in my college. So, as sir rightly mentioned earlier in his challenges part, that the IP policies are not at place. And there are many stakeholders in this particular area where how do we give the weightage to the policies is a dilemma. And we cannot, it becomes much dicey when we give weightage to the institute, not the innovator or inventor, and the students who are there as in stakeholders. So there is a fight between all the stakeholders who are there. So it would be really great if some policies are mentioned and given to the institutes to follow so that there will be a clear transparency between them. and the policies for the private engineering colleges, because I belong to that area. So if that have been imposed on the institutes, that would be better as compared to we design or customize our own policies. So this is what challenge I feel from academia.
Okay, can we listen to thoughts from Vinitji?
Thank you. My name is Vinit Kumar Dongre. I am representing here Thakur College of Engineering. My responsibility there is Dean R&D, and I am also the chairman for IIC at the institute. I am also filed the 6 patent, 3 are granted with the Indian Patent Office. So as an inventor, I am there. I am also clear the Indian patent exam. So that is, I am a patent agent also. So on the both the side. So the I'll come to your question. That is, what is the crucial part in technology transfer? So most of the participant and the panelist here, I hope they are married. So when they go for the marriage, so the similar kind of thing is there, the matching the pair, that you have some technology and you want to share with somebody who can use it. And then there is a negotiation on all this part. So the major challenge is that the interaction between industry and the academia is not that much significant. So the student and faculty and inventor, they don't know what industry required exactly. And industry is bother much about their integrity, that this is my product, how I should share with some XYZ or professor or student or somebody. So there is a gap. Again, the students, faculty, they are very good in the technology. They know the technology. They do fantastic thing in the technology. There are so many projects having the good technology. But as in the patent, the two parts are there, inventive step. So one is the technology part, other is the commercial part. So as per the engineering student, I know they are not that much good, or instead of, they are not focusing much on the what will be the cost of this product. Their majority of the students and faculty are lacking. So this is what I think the major challenge. We can go ahead that when we will discuss further thing on these aspects.
Can we listen from Hardik ji?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Hardik and I work with Technology Innovation Hub at IIT Bombay. To give you a little bit of background, I have spent almost 15 years in the startup ecosystem, mainly on the both sides, handling some of the ministries project promoting entrepreneurship and startups, and then working with incubators. So in fact, I would like to second sir's opinion. The biggest, probably I would not say challenge, but I would say area of improvement is the lack of sufficient knowledge, especially in academic researcher, right? So we do not understand what is the exact need of the market and customers, right? So the potential markets and potential customer needs, we are not aware. And because of that, we tend to undertake projects or develop technologies which are commercially not viable, right? A very simple example of it, you all know touchscreens, right? So touchscreens were invented in 1970s, right? And for good 30 years, the technology was in a cupboard. And in 2000, someone like Apple thought of using it in mobile phones, considering that it will be useful for users and it will improve the use case, right? So, and that is how it came out, right? So if we understand what is the market need and what actually industry requires, probably we would undertake and develop technologies that are commercially deployable and viable, right? Thank you.
Yes, Uday sir, from you, you have been, incubating so many startups. So, and many of them come from the academic institution. So,
Yeah, So myself, Uday Vakawala, I represent AIC Rambhav Margi Prabodhini. It's been 6 years in the incubation as the CEO of this specific incubation center. But it's been around 15 years in the ecosystem, close to 15 years managing more than 500 plus institution academia. I completely agree what my co-panelist said, but I'll go a step before that. Rather, the most challenging thing I feel is the mindset. So what really happens is, as an academician, and in fact, we saw that. I noticed that while Professor Sheikh was Sajid was really speaking about patent and all those specific things, and then the commercialization part of it, I think that's where we lack as an institution in a way that when we say commercialization, लोगों को लगता है अरे बाप रे इसको कैसे करें? I mean that's where that's the kind of fear that everyone has gotten. I think that's the first thing that really have to be worked around. And the second part, I believe that there are a lot of resources, and I'm so happy with Innovation Center being set up. Umesh, I was talking to you, in fact, with Dr. Anil Wali and Premnath ji last year. I was there chairing a particular committee for hiring innovation managers, and it's been exactly a year, and we have really seen this really shaping up. I think you guys can do a wonderful job of getting everyone together on board. And so there are different stakeholders involved. I think what has been missing till date has been the participation of different stakeholders, right from investors, industries, the innovators, and most of the times everyone is working in silos. And I believe the most important part out here is the mentors. They play a very critical role out there. So you don't have to look as your innovation as just innovator. You'll have to look at it from an investor, from a buyer, that is your customer, and then from different perspectives. And I think that's where we all are missing a lot. And I believe that if you would see the universities abroad and the universities out here, the real difference is that, because then it's all hands-on. The practical aspects is missing. How many faculty would get that much of time and that many resources to work on a project thinking like an industry problem? And I think that's where we are missing, and that's the biggest challenge.
Yes. So Koteshwar sir, as I mentioned earlier, you're playing three roles: an IP faculty, an institution convener from IIC, and you are also, head of the incubation.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. So, I agree with the comments posed by all the co-panelists. So, I could see, like, premier institutions like IITs, IIMs, we don't have a problem with the IP policy. The most of our IP policy are inventor driven, in the sense, per se, like, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, or Mumbai IIM. So about 70% revenue, whatever you generate through technology licensing or technology transfer, 70% goes to the inventors. So at this point in time, AICT has created a very good ecosystem of, posting the IP courses, startups, and everything. Now the system has been created. Now we have to safeguard the interest of the inventors. So they have to come up with a policy, and that policy should be forced. It should be forced in all the institutions across the AICT. So private institutions, obviously, their motto is to make profit, right? Though the institutions were started not for profit, Section 8 companies, but we all know, and teachers. We all know that. So now industry and academia collaboration. No one is stopping the academicians to go into the industry. Industry will most welcome you. The moment you say, I am an academician from so-and-so institution, they will be very happy to show their, the plant and whatever problem they are facing. You can note down the problem, you solve it. So then obviously you can build a very good relationship. So these are two things what I see lacking today, and this is a high time for the government agencies like IICT or USC to venture into this. Yeah, sure.
Point noted, sir. So, Chindan, sir, would you want to answer the same question or can I leapfrog it?
I guess I can answer the same question.
Okay.
And while my fellow panelists have shared the pain points, I see a clear opportunity, right? As an investor or as a mentor, I see an opportunity to develop a searchable database of patents with keywords. So if you want to search, because right now it's a black box. You do not know where to search, where to go. Everyone has got patents, but then again, that has been a national secret, which you are actually hiding somewhere. So please be vocal, right? Think of your peers in Ivy League colleges where they are going gaga about their patents, their research. The only difference is what we do is we feel that, yeah, that's what my job was and I did. And then you start living your life as is. But start feeling proud about what you're doing. Apna dhool khud bajana chalu karo. Right? So make a searchable database, socialize your patents, be vocal about your patent innovations in relevant forums, put it on your LinkedIn, put it on social media, wherever you think you can, you should, and the institution policies permit. I'm not sure about those secret policies, right? Probably one more event which I attended was about at the patent office, regional patent office organized event, and where a couple of investors were also called. This was regarding labs patents. And this is where we saw that many institutes of eminence are facing these issues. That someone filed a patent 20 years ago. Now multiple people changed those position, chairs, cabin, right से left, first से third floor, या तो building change हो गया, नए building बन गए. But no one cared about those patents, and these patents are lapsing now. So it's a great opportunity to retrieve and have hold of those patents, the legacy the institutions have built. Yes, IIC and all are definitely relevantly new one, but then we definitely have some time on that. And yes, I really appreciated these boxes, right? Uh, these these boxes are during Corona, right? These are the ones which kill the germs. I don't know how effective they were then, they were effective right now, and whether it is on or not. But some good gentleman took a call that, okay, fine, let me buy this invention, right? You've got tons of patents, but then while we enter those labs and all, we should feel like, oh, we are entering Batman's lab. But वो patent के file box file पड़े हुए, but there is no miniature version which someone can look and feel and say, अरे यार ये तो कुछ अच्छा है. It's all box file. We are creating box file certificate. So our objective is to achieve the certificate or to build some prototype and let the industry have a feel of it. So let us move from that, as rightly said, some kind of, moving towards that part. So that's what I think probably. That's what a Guju mind could think.
Thank you. Thank you for highlighting. In fact, just before Samir ji will put his, insights, I would like to add, last month we had an induction in Delhi and we had a MSME, assistant director talking about patents and licensing and all sort of stuff. And one thing struck my mind, because I also come from the Marwari background. So there is a concept of non-working patents. Now, non-working patents are ones which are 20 years is the life of the patent. They are lapsed. They were filed by some external companies in India, but still we don't have that access. They are still selling that product in India. So I would want to establish a team of students from IICs, and we'll need to create that database of the labs or whatever the patents are and non-working patents, how we can create companies and startups out of it. Samir ji. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. My name is Samir Karulkar. Uh, totally from the industry. Last 27 years, I've been a investment banker with SBI caps. I used to help them. So I have acquired, invested patents from across the world as a part of acquisitions that I've done. And the next 10 years, I've been an investor, used to head the Bennett Coleman Group. So I've had a fair share of brands that I have protected, lost, acquired, and made money as well. In my views, might be a little contrary and stark, but I'm just sharing those there. So I think the only thing that matters for patents to get its, space and limelight is a marketplace. think only when stock market, everyone understands a common language, unless you can buy and sell a patent or something of value, it does not become an asset. Otherwise, it remains as an IP as an asset is a theory that is one taught. And only when somebody can look at that kind of a market, does validation, market acceptance, looks at it. And we all talk about patents being valuable, but the one who creates it is not able to use. So that's number one, is marketplace. Second is my interactions with people, faculty, geniuses, PhDs across the world. Only one commonality. Geniuses and business guys don't know how to work with each other. And that's what is required. And I think ma'am touched upon a point about, interconnectedness is my word. Uh, for patents to be successful, you need to think of a relay race. And in relay race, all four get the medal or no one gets them. That's about it. So the creator, the executor, the scaler, and then the monetizer ultimately for looking at it. If they are not together, then it gets stuck somewhere. And I think that is how, if one looks at it, monetization is a way. In fact, I would probably think the best way for innovations like this is companies should come and pitch. Today we have startups coming and pitching. I mean, I encourage corporates to say, what's your problem? Why don't you pitch your problem and do that? I think if you get 2 or 3 committed industrialists to come here and pitch to faculty and students and saying this is like a public-private industry academia association, you will have solution. That's exactly how Bosch operates in Germany. That's exactly how TUV Rheinland operates in Germany. There. And I think there is nothing wrong in academics telling your placement guys that come and take placement. No, we'll help you innovate. Let them come and pitch to the academia, get them trained the minds. Probably that's a good start to get the limelight that IP deserves. That's how I think about it.
That's a wonderful thought, actually, and really insightful about what you mentioned on the relay race concept. I think the patent journey and the tech transfer is all about this. So quickly, we'll go on to the panel specific questions now that we have set the tone. This question is to the investors on the panel. How do you evaluate the potential of university-based innovation for investment? And what challenges do you typically encounter in this process?
So for me, from 2 points. One is if I look at only university guys pitching and looking at it, the biggest and the only question in my mind is this a passion project that somebody will get bored with in 6 months' time? Or is there something more to it? So that's 90% of the filtration happens only on this thought in my mind, which at different phases in life, you're doing it. So investment is not for a product, it's for a business. And business requires a certain degree of sacrifice. Are we ready or are we not? I think the second question more is a commercial one is, are you selling it? Have you plans to make sales? Do you know how to make sales? And I think these two allow comfort to see that people can do it. And I think the expectation is 90% of the people tell that they didn't get funding, but our evaluation or hindsight is there was never a pay need. So I think more than the patent, will a consumer pay for a product is an assessment that one needs to do before spending their lifetime in creating a product for which they are seeking a patent for.
Good, insightful points. And I think the Smart India Hackathon and IDE boot camps are mainly focused on this. Yeah, the problem which you're trying to solve, is there really a problem? Yeah, Chintan sir.
So one thing is I really miss university spin-off, which are really missing, right? And that inventory of innovation, probably what we are doing is we are displaying the startups, the inventory of startups. But then can we have a kind of a event where you display the inventory of innovation. Let the innovator come and give a 3-minute pitch about their innovation. Probably investors meet lot many startups, lot many industry people. We mentor those startups at growth stage as well. Now, if we are aware, then we can connect the dots. That knowledge itself is missing from the ecosystem. You do not know that where to go. If I have maybe visited some academy and I would have been exposed to certain thing, then probably I could say that, okay, fine, someone was actually looking for IoT sensor for temperature. I know there are problems, they're looking at it, but then we are not able to connect the dots. Use investors as your sales guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting those aspects. Now I would like to, put the onus on Hardik because he comes from the technology support system. How do you think academic institutions can better educate and engage researchers and students in the IP and tech transfer process?
Okay, so I personally believe there is no alternative to education, right? But when we talk about education, we also have to be very key what content that we are delivering. I have been to a lot of institution, and when we talk about IP, it is generally about copyrights, patents, and trademarks, right? But we do not probably share information on how to get them. What is the importance of it, right? I am also an engineer, and when I was studying, I had no idea कि मैं अगर IP फाइल करूंगा तो मेरे को क्या benefit मिल सकता है, and if I have anything, where to go, what kind of support is available, right? Whom to approach. So I would say as an institution, if we can build this mechanism, right? This is a very random thought. Why can't we have IP as a part of the induction of the students when they are entering into the education system, right? When they are entering into the college and they know, okay, over the 4 years, I can create IP. I can probably seek help from, these are the kind of institutions. So if we can deliver a useful content to the students, it will be very useful. And I would also say we have incentivized the patent creation for professors and scientists, right, and researchers. They see as a part of their career progression, but we have not incentivized the commercialization aspect in a good way. Some of the leading institutions have these mechanisms, but if we can make it generalize across all education institutions where professors who are creating IP can be benefited from the commercialization of it, I can see there are a lot of good examples coming out of the system.
So could you highlight what is TIH to the audience and on the panel? What is that in a brief?
Okay, so I'll take a minute, I guess. So TIH is supported by Department of Science and Technology and formed by IIT Bombay on its campus. We are again a Section 8 company formed under National Mission. Our main role, so apart from TIH IIT Bombay, there are other 24 TIH across the nation, each one focusing on a different sector. So we are kind of focused towards IoT and IoE space at the moment, and going forward, we will also have AI ML as a part of our portfolio. So we do a lot of innovation, entrepreneurship, promotion things, right? This includes many of the fellowship programs for UG, PG, doctorate, postdoctorates, and including chair professor fellowships. That is one thing. And we also support a lot of commercialization efforts in the country. So we are a national hub, and starting from sustenance grant to prototyping grants to product development grants to seed investment is what we do largely to support again innovation and the commercialization efforts, I would say.
I would appreciate if you can take some time out and visit the TI. They have a beautiful office in IIT Bombay.
Right.
Yeah.
To begin with, I would say if you can just go through our website, you will see a lot of initiatives that are run by TIH, and then probably we can have fruitful interactions then. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Hardik. Now going back to, the incubator and the innovation council members. Now, how can the academic institutions create a more entrepreneurial culture that encourages researchers to pursue commercialization of their innovations? What are your thoughts on that? So this is to Koteshwar sir, Uday sir, and the IIC members. Anyone can take it.
See, no, first let me add something what Vijay sir was talking about. The patent database, okay? So there are a lot of private databases are available, right? A lot of patent where we do prior art search and all before we draft our patent applications, clients and all. So when you search for the patent, with specific keywords, we have a lot of, those companies can give you the presentation how to search a particular invention. You have a class, IPC classification. There are a lot of things are there. So the moment you search, the patents will be displayed for the last 5, 6, 7 decades, since, let's say 1950, you can also give the dates. But patent which are in force is about 20 years, right, from date of filing. But within that also, unless you pay your renewal fee, your patent will not be in force. So some of those patents can also be treated as a lapse patent, not necessarily which are completed 20 years. Patents which are there, the institution initially, the moment they get the patent, it takes 2, 3 years. So once you pay for 3 years or 5 years, so after that you see there is no return on investment, right? So you just keep quiet. And those patents are not in force in the sense, if someone infringes it, government will not give you the protection force. Okay, the policing thing, you have to do it. And that too, when you file a case in the court, so the moment you file a case, the infringer will say these patents are not in force because you are not paying the renewal. So you can search a lot of patents, and you can also, there are agencies, consultancies who are working on this kind of patents, and they come up with a good number of patents, and they approach the companies, can say that we have this kind of technologies with us and we will transfer it. And they will also approach the inventor whose patents are not in force. They will take a complete ownership by paying peanuts. What was your question? I just missed it.
Sure, sir. I'll repeat it again. So, how can academic institutions create a more entrepreneurial culture that encourages researchers to pursue commercialization of their innovations?
No, see, whenever it comes to academic, see, for our student, so it's a 2-year program. So we pay, they pay about 20 plus lakhs. Okay. So 99% of them are after their placements because they have taken loan, right? So we have a policy. Students who are interested in entrepreneurship, they can be given a 1 year extra time, again can come back. They can experiment their, venture, and if the venture is not working, then they can come back and can sit for placement with their juniors. So you can have some kind of policies to encourage the student because, missing the placement because of your, experiment, like, startup and all. And if you won't get the job, after you found that your startup is not working. So that kind of risk is always there with them. So you should have to have some kind of policies which can really help the students.
Yeah, Vinit.
As per the policies are concerned, so I'll just refer the NAP 2020. In that, we have implemented it. Now we are at the, in that we have a provision for the minor degree. So 18 credit will be given additionally or the honor degree. So in that, now we are thinking that entrepreneurship, innovation, or the another part is the research, because this can be treated in this category. I'll share one incident that most of the faculty member and student maybe agree, they might have seen the similar incident. So I'm just giving an example so that what level we have to do the correction. One of the student, I know that he is very good in his project, and his project he was trying to, he has a very good research value in its project and entrepreneurial value also. So I was aware about that, but he was talking to the faculty and faculty was scolding to him that you have not submitted your mini project because his mini project was different and what he was doing for his entrepreneurship and his choice, that was different. So these two things were different. He was focused on his whatever his passion, but he was means almost last bencher in the regular whatever subjects. So most of the time, previously the examples were given that this is college dropout and a great entrepreneur. So this should not be story right now. That is the failure of a teacher being. I consider this may be the failure of our system. So he may be in the system. He should be in the system. He must be in the system and then do the entrepreneurship if he has the wish. So we are planning to have this flavor from the first year, as a panelist says, they should have the awareness. So we do the awareness of IP and all this. And starting from the second year, the flavor of the entrepreneurship, the project, what he is doing, the regular guidance will be given and he will be given a platform. Now in the formal system, there are some lacuna because we have a project, we have practical, we have theory, lecture. So apart from that, now the NEP 2020 is giving an autonomous institutes are having a provision there. There is a provision of the experiential learning. So we can have a credit for that. And we have to formalize this system. And according, again, the thing is we have to do the valuation, we have to do the assessment for everything. So that thing should be come in the picture, and I hope that over a period, the at least it will start from the institute which though they have the autonomy because they can start, and obviously the affiliating institute also they will follow it.
Thank you, sir. Udayji, you want to add something? Yeah, sure.
Would certainly love to add because I've worked with campuses so much in last 15, 16 years. So first and foremost, this might be very controversial. Not many people like it, but I always say this, that all entrepreneurs are innovators, but all innovators cannot be entrepreneurs. That's a very, very basic thing. Now it's very important to understand कि innovator है या entrepreneur है. अगर entrepreneur नहीं है, they might get like-minded people and you would find a co-founder to build a business. So I always say that there has to be a multidisciplinary approach to this. And that's what most of the campuses have to really work on that. The second part, I always say that get more startup founders on campus, get more investors, industry people on campus, give them practical exposure. And the third part, I think somewhere we missed out. I believe that encourage your students to take up internship with startups rather than the industry or the corporates. I believe the kind of learning that those guys would have, it's amazing. Or maybe projects. Give them more of a projects which would have a kind of practical exposure, or else the problem. See, the most important part is the problem statement, right? In a way that where do you find those particular problem statements? So Smart India Hackathon, that's amazing. But unfortunately, we had a couple of Smart India Hackathon winners in our incubation center as well. And when we asked them, maybe after a year, giving them a grant of almost close to 10 lakhs, that's what Smart India Hackathon winners get it. They said, nahi sir, Reliance mein abhi job kar rahe hain. That there is nothing wrong in it. But it's all about the experience of that 1 year, 2 years. 5 साल के बाद भी अगर वो entrepreneur वापस बन रहे हैं, that's a success for us. So please understand everyone. In our incubation center, we say that there is idea to lab and lab to market. The entire journey, if you would see. So it's idea to market, and that takes almost 3 to 5 years. Most of the times, at a very early stage, I see a lot of innovators getting into the valuation part of it. नहीं जरूरत है, क्यों आपको तभी वो सोचना है? And I think that's the mindset that everyone has to really work on, right from the faculty as well as the stakeholders that are there. The other part is most of the faculty have to really prove to those entrepreneurs that there is a value that they are adding by becoming a mentor. So not every time they are business mentors, they are technical mentors as well. And that plays a very crucial role in their journey. I see that a lot of faculty members miss out on the crucial aspect of being a technical mentor. अगर वहाँ पे भी वो एक industry problem देके उनको ये solve कर सकते हैं, Most of the times when I go to campuses, they say mentor. We are not too sure. I cannot be a business mentor, but not every time you need to be a business mentor. Get in a business mentor and get the technology. I think that collaboration is amazing. And that's what you really need to prove. We need to have more of cases coming beyond IITs and IIMs. I think that's another thing. And that's the reason we work a lot with local campuses. And I believe that there is a huge potential, but the problem is a top-down approach, right? I think faculty को काफी time trustees या directors पूछते हैं कि अरे यहाँ पे क्यों आप time उतना आपका जा रहा है? Give them enough time to really, I mean, be an entrepreneur, right? I mean, that's very, very important. That's what I would love to see.
I think you have hit the bullseye. So, yeah, Sajid, so before you add one point, I wanted to go to Aparna ma'am. Aparna ma'am, you are representing the women. And when we look at the women startups, I was recently, attended the CI Women in STEM event organized last week. And 43% women, graduates in STEM leave their jobs, and only like 14% pursue it, after 4 or 5 years. And they were talking about how to bring them back. So how do you see, do you have some examples, of women founders, or you could give your perspective on this?
I myself is an example for that. I had taken a break for my 2 children. So it happens after our journey of a female, because she cannot continue the jobs because of her assignments at home, you can say. So nowadays we are hearing about the work from home culture after this COVID pandemic. So that is a very best thing that has come up. There are many more challenges what a female faces. It's a diversity ratio that one has to maintain, but it is not maintained, as we all know, at the very top or peer group members. So this is what is my stand. I would like to answer the earlier question about the things that researchers and the faculties should be facing. So I had been a SPOC for SIH since 2017 and had backed the 3 lakh rupees amount for completion of the project and all. What the challenges we face is the students get placed after their final year, and they are mostly the third year and final year students who pitch in for the Smart India Hackathon because they get that much knowledge to crack some problem. So then there is a trade-off. They talk with us, मैम हम startup में आए तो हमारे parents हमको पूछते हैं कि what about the monthly income that you should incur after getting 12 or 10 lakh packages, but here you are not getting anything. So in that case, I would like to suggest that we should come up with some pan level incubation labs wherein students or startups are coming there and the ideas are getting realized over there, and they should incur some certain income and get the motivation and promise that okay, you will be getting into the right direction. Being me an academician, I don't know how to commercialize the ideas, as very rightly said. So there should be a platform that can be suggested to the institutes at how they have to go in that, and how the startups should able to understand that they are not wasting their time on coming after campuses, because sir rightly said that the ideas should have, there should be some value in that idea. Otherwise, nobody will be investing in understanding and listening the ideas over there. So this all we need to come up and join the dots together. So that was one of them. Lastly, that me being the faculty, there should be some motivation for the faculties also. Like we have to fight for the reimbursement of the flight tickets also. If we go for IIT Kanpur, I had been to IIT Kanpur and got the first prize. After that, there were the things were changed. So what if we couldn't win at that particular time? So motivation for the faculties in the commercial aspect definitely has to be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sajid, sir? Yes. A lot of insightful thoughts.
Yes. Actually, recently I did a research on social impact assessment of Atal incubation centers. In 4 states we did, and we really found this very gender disparity issue with respect to the mentors. And when we'll not have women mentors, then the women innovators will not be attracted. Okay, so we recommended, that this gap be bridged by, active encouragement. That is the only way out. Secondly, with respect to the academic institutions, I said one thing and I will not hesitate to repeat it. that the institutional ranking frameworks, they have to be remodified now, because nowhere the commercialization aspect is ranked or is captured. Even I think the IP offices, they should start at least in some manner capturing this very particular field. And one most important point which I want to highlight is that institutions should encourage ethical practices and discourage unethical practices. There are practices which I have seen that for inventions, when patent is filed, there are 10 to 15 innovators, some innovators who have nothing to do with that invention particularly. Do not want to, speak more on it. Just get that very idea, because we are after filing. Okay, so a lot of pressure is also there. So I think so. Good innovations should be encouraged, and institutional checks and balance mechanism should be there. Only then commercialization will happen. Otherwise, it's just like filling some form for some evaluation. Thank you.
Yeah, Samir sir, would you like to?
So I think what Sajid sir said, what Aparna ma'am said. So 20% of my portfolio in the last 10 years had women founders. 4 of my 5 current personal investments is with a women founder, both in India and outside India. So innovation and an opportunity needs inspiration. Each campus has that potential within their faculties. I think there is no harm in creating an environment where we celebrate that. I think celebratory culture half of the time achieves what policies try to say in 500 pages. And I think that has happened in many places. It happens in closed doors, but it should be open. And when you celebrate something, it becomes aspirational for people to follow. Role models are needed. Execution is required. And I think some of these I have observed both in not only colleges, but I would say individual smaller companies as well there. So we have to emulate whatever is working from that part here. Opportunity on what you said as women, I relate. There is a company called FlexiBees. It just taps into the GDP that's sitting at home right now, who would want to work, but would have the option of working for 4 hours. I only hire and I only employ from them. I don't have to monitor. They deliver output when they think they can, and it comes to me. This is a business. It's funded. It's growing. It's going global. So I think approach on looking at steps is there, but I would say celebration is the first way. We don't have to look at it like, oh God, I have to take the burden. What will happen to me and all of that. And the second point is probably for students and faculties. When students come to colleges, they either have placements and salaries. I don't think we should encourage people to say that startups is a similar option. No, startups is not salaries. We've all given up salaries and not earned for many years before there is an equity value. Equity value is what one believes one works for, not for P&L. And that understanding, if it is wrong, we will always have frustrations. Giving up is one of the reasons most people haven't been successful. It's just that one more night was needed. They just gave up. And I've seen so many people come up and close things down, and the next day it happened. And then said, I was early off my time. Yeah, but one more day. I think that's how I think the mind is there. And I think you said about the mind, this is where the expectation management, I think we are influencers. All faculties are influencers. And we are influencing what people and students look around us. And I think we need to create that culture for helping people to get the right inputs, but in a celebratory environment.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So I think we are coming to the closure of the panel discussion. We'll do a rapid fire. Okay, one word which comes to your mind, which you would like to give as a, giveaway to the participants who are listening us online. I think there are 600, 700 participants. We have some 50, 60 odd participants over here. So when when you talk about IP and tech transfer, so from the academic perspective, one word, so which could be acting as an inspiration or driving motivation. Okay, Chintan sir. Catalyst to business. Okay, catalyst to business. Okay.
They have to run, that's it. You have to catch the change.
Right. So yeah. Uday sir.
Always say leverage. That's the key word for everything. You have to really leverage everything. IP and tech transfer is very important in the ecosystem.
Yes, Hardik ji.
I am also a good Jew. So I would say money. And it has the great potential. Always look for money.
Vinit sir.
Match the pair.
I would say set the priorities, that what is your priority, money, or it is about the innovation.
Systematic planning.
Can
That
we
is
have
the
our
key.
applause? Yeah. I will quickly summarize what has been discussed. We started with quality patents, creating a framework. Vinit sir highlighted it's like a marriage. Industry and academia needs to go hand in hand. Then Udayji mentioned about the mindset change and the resources, not to work in silos and have mentors. Koteshwarji mentioned about the industry will come to academia based on the inventions which are being created. Chintan sir talked about the black box of patent and how we can create a database out of it. To which, he also mentioned about the lapse patents. Then we had an input from Koteshwarji about the renewal of patents. Then Sameerji added patent should be market focused, so matching the need. And corporates needs to pitch to the faculty and students. So corporate needs to come to the academia and ask what you can create for us. Then Sameerji also highlighted whether the idea or the patent or the business is a passion project or something else when they look for the investment and do they have the selling capability. To which Chintanji added about the university spin-offs. Inventory for startups is there, but we need innovator pitch events. Then Hardik ji added on the question how we can bring technology enablement. It's about the content, what content we are delivering, how to get the content, right content for the students, catch them young in HEIs. Commercialization should be incentivized and there should be a generalized approach across academia. Koteshwar ji mentioned about, added regarding the placements and the 1 year extra for the experimentation which they are giving at the institution level. Then Vinay added about the regular guidance and project apart from the regular lecture and theory which is happening using the NEP 2020 model, assessment and evaluation should be in place. To which Udayji also added all entrepreneurs are innovators, but not all innovators could be entrepreneur. That mindset should be taught and how industry investors and corporates can work in sync. Internship with startups, projects and practical exposures can help and have a problem statement. What is the problem we are trying to solve? Focus on idea to lab and lab to market. When we talked about the gender diversity question, Aparnaji talked about the work from home diversity ratio, the journey from being an SPOC and the hurdles which have been there. So there needs to be some policy changes at the institution and the academic level. Incubation labs are needed for the idea realization. And there should be some funding support while the startups are being working so they can sustain for a while before they take off. Sajid ji added on the women gap encouragement for women participation. He bluntly mentioned there needs to be a overall in the NIRF ecosystem. Ethical practices needs to be encouraged and unethical should be discouraged. Good innovation should be encouraged. After which, Samir sir added about the innovation and opportunity needs inspiration. So celebrating the culture in campuses, creating the role models, the people who have already, created something. So how we can push them and, we all know Dhoni and we all know Sachin Tendulkars of the world, but do we know the technical mentors or startup mentors or the student inventors or investors who have gone, far ahead to bring their network and support? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close this panel. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience here and offline as well. We will quickly give mementos to the participants and then we are off. Kavya. Hello? Yeah. Okay. So I need your claps. Yeah. This is for yourself and the ecosystem which we are. Okay. So we'll start with senior. Okay. Thank you. I look forward that you will be inviting some of them in your institution soon, right? Thank you, sir. Meeting time. Quickly, can I call my AIC team Innovation Center to stand here for a group picture? Yes. Definitely will have more participants. Thank you, sir. We'll have the AIC team downstairs and we'll have a quick picture. Subodhji, Ajav, let it be. Yeah, please come quickly. They will have to rush and everyone has to rush. Can we have everyone? Yeah, whoever wants to be in picture, will do a group picture quickly. Leave all your stuff and join us quickly. This is just a start and we are planning some more activities. I would again like to thank all the panelists for making time in this torrential rain. Yeah, the AICT team will be here. We can be here. Okay, yeah, I think we can stand here. Okay. Make sure everyone is. Can you just come up? In the Innovation Center, we have a motto. Yeah, Jai Jawan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. Right?